Yo, what is good, Raider Nation? Welcome to another episode of Raiders Unfiltered. I got an action-packed show for y'all. So, y'all already know what time it is. It's Monday, y'all. We can get some unfiltered shit, some hot takes. No dope guests, but we got a lot to talk about. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and kick this thing off. Here we go.
J Raider, the creator with the killer content, hot takes and the dopest. Gas Raider Nation, from Oakland to LA to Vegas. Nothing greater than the Raiders, only facts. Just Raiders, just Raiders, just Raiders. Stand up, just Raiders, just Raiders, just Raiders. Welcome to the channel. It's called Just Raiders, baby. If you ain't subscribed, then you gotta try. Just Raiders, baby, nothing but love for the Raiders. Been an OG before 93. Shout out to the nation, they always crazy. So nation, ride with me, taking over my style. It's amazing, making hits like Maxx on the blitz. The silver and black, on the attack. They on the map, if you a fan and you with that. J Raider, the creator with the killer content, hot takes and the dopest. Gas Raider Nation, from Oakland to LA to Vegas. Nothing greater than the Raiders, only facts. Just Raiders, just Raiders, just Raiders, just Raiders, just Raiders, just Raiders, J Raiders, just Raiders, just Raiders, just Raiders, just Raiders, just Raiders. Putting on shows like Brock on the go. We just like J Raider, the innovator, making shows like Good Morning Raiders, the originator. Raiders Unfiltered, raw, never censored. The post game reaction, nothing but action. Just Raiders, baby. Just Raiders. Just Raiders, baby. J Raider, the creator with the killer content. Hot takes and the dopest, yes. Raider Nation, the only nation. There ain't no question.
Just win, baby.
Win, baby.
Just win. Yo, what is good, everyone? Salute. Happy Monday to everyone. Appreciate you guys pulling up and tapping in with me, with your boy on this Monday night. I hope you guys had a great weekend, y'all. We just finished the combine just yesterday. Yesterday was the last day with the big boys out there doing their thing. We're going to go ahead and talk about that and much more on this episode of Raiders Unfiltered. Real quick, if you guys haven't done so already, make sure you guys go ahead, hit that like, hit that subscribe on this channel. It does help to go ahead and grow the show and grow the channel, especially I am on the path now to try to get to 1,700 subscribers. We're at 15, trying to get to that 17, ultimately to that 2,000 mark. So if you're new, if you're feeling what you're hearing, make sure you hit that subscribe on your boy. Appreciate y'all. Real quick before we go ahead and get this thing under the way, you already know we can't go ahead and kick this show off without acknowledging the chat. Real quick, shout out to JoJo in the building. What is the deal? Appreciate you pulling up. Salute, my guy. Sacktown Raider Mike in the building. What is good, my guy? Appreciate you. One of the mods here at Just Raiders, Rorschach, Raider 24 in the building. What is good, my guy? Appreciate you pulling up. James in the building. Appreciate you. Thank you for pulling up. No, Jeff, only you are going to need a new intro without Maxx, because how dare you start with your anti-Maxx propaganda? I'm not going to have it. That's not this type of show, my guy. No, I'm just kidding, bro. Hey, appreciate you pulling up. Thank you for rocking with me on this Monday. Salute. All right. Appreciate you. Salute to everybody pulling up right now. Hopefully you guys are at the crib or on the way to the crib. And if you guys are stuck at work or heading to work, I hope your shift goes by really quick, and at least this helps to go ahead and make this go by a little bit faster. So salute to everybody here watching for sure. Shout out to my guy Greg in the building, just pulled up. He says, who's ready for next week? When free agency begins. Free agency begins in about 9 days. 9 days. It actually starts on March 11th. So 9 more days. And we're going to see all these wheeling and dealing start taking place. So very excited time. It is going to be, it falls on a Wednesday. So Raider Connection will be on. We're going to go over everything that went down throughout the day, and probably be going on as we go live. Shout out to my guy Jeff, who's in the building as well. So he's going to be on. I'll probably jump on a little bit with him. We do the damn thing, and we go over some of the deals that happened on day one of free agency. That literally is in 9 days, y'all. 9 days is crazy. We already here. We already in March. This is March 2nd. March 2nd. Damn. I was in January, like not too long ago. What the fuck happened? Time is going by fast. So we got a lot to cover. Real quick, shout out to my guy. And in the building, another one of my mods here at Just Raiders. And hey, the prodigal son returns. Raider Fools Chris in the building. What is good, my guy? Appreciate you tapping in. Yes, sir. It's going to be a hot and heavy. Hey, positive necessary, bro. On day one. Yo. I can't wait. I can't wait for all those deals to go ahead and come on through. So it's going to be a good one. But let's go ahead and kick this thing underway. Again, appreciate everyone pulling up. Haven't mentioned you. I'll come back to you. So I'm not going to get on too long, but we have a good amount of stuff we're going to cover. Going to go ahead and do a mock towards the latter half or towards the end of the show. We're going to go ahead and do the damn thing on the mock. Haven't done a mock with you guys this year. I've been holding off. I've been waiting till we figure some things out, and it looks like we already got a coaching staff in place. We just finished a combine. So there's some guys that now we can go ahead and kind of speak more intelligently on and kind of really dial this upcoming draft and really get that dialed in. We know who the number one pick is going to be, even though some people here in the chat might not agree. It looks like that's going to be the move for the Raiders. Barring something, they dig up something wild and crazy on Mendoza. Most likely that he is going to be the guy. He's going to be most likely the future franchise QB of this team. So, but let's go ahead and just go over a few things real quick. First off, if you guys missed it, Good Morning Raiders on Saturday. Oh my God, Jeff. We covered day 3 of the combine. Make sure you guys go ahead and click that link at the end of the show towards Good Morning Raiders. It was a really good show. We covered everything. But one of the news that I did put out there is, and this happened on Friday, Raiders hire Nick Holtz as their offensive pass game coordinator. Again, this going down on Friday afternoon. Raiders make that announcement of them bringing in Nick Holtz. Nick Holtz, a familiar face for the Raiders. He was with then the Oakland Raiders, and briefly when we became the Las Vegas Raiders when we moved out to Vegas. So Nick Holtz, a familiar face, back with the silver and black, and he'll be part of the offensive scheme for Clint Kubiak as he handles that pass game. But surprisingly, one of the things that maybe y'all haven't noticed, there's no quarterback coach. There's no official quarterback coach for this team. Looks like those duties are gonna be split between Clint Kubiak and Andrew Janocko. They're gonna go ahead and really work on developing the quarterback, which is most likely going to be Fernando Mendoza. But again, want to go ahead and put that out there. Raiders hired Nick Holtz as their offensive pass game coordinator, and this just happened this past Friday. So just a familiar face for the Raiders. It is Raider news, so definitely want to go ahead and put that out there. I think this is again, it's a solid hire. It's not a great hire. It's not going to go ahead and just make you, you know, uh, make you feel any type of like happy way. But it's a solid move. You can't really knock on it. Again, somebody that was with us prior, now has come back with the Raiders. So definitely a good move here, a solid move here. So let's go ahead and continue on. Raiders have also met with several players at the NFL Combine. As you guys know, they met with various players throughout the week, right before and including up to the point, I guess, the day of when they start their days. So just to go ahead and kind of name you guys a few, um, Raiders went ahead and met with D'Angelo Pons, Brandon Sice, being one of those, Riley Nowitzki from Indiana. They also met with wide receiver Casey Concepcion out of Texas A&M. I'm surprised about that one, for the reason being this guy's projected to go ahead and go anywhere from like the mid to lower first round. So, interesting move by the Raiders to go ahead and meet with him. For me, it's somebody potentially out of the wheelhouse, bar they go ahead and trade back into the first, or if Jeff has his way. Sorry to pick on you, bro. But if Jeff has his way and we trade back out of that first round pick, move down a couple spots and let Fernando go, we're gonna have a few extra first round picks. So interesting thing there. But Raiders will also meet with tight end fullback Maxx Bredson as well. And they go ahead and actually, and let me go ahead and put this up here. And I think this is kind of, uh, part of, you could say, part of Raider royalty, so to speak. Raiders meet with Zachariah Branch. Zachariah Branch being the great nephew of Cliff, of the late great Cliff Branch. They met, and he actually had a pretty good combine. Had a crazy vertical that he did. Let me go ahead and see if I can pull that up real quick. But he did have a crazy vertical. Let me see here. I got my thing pulled up. I don't know offhand what the vertical was, but we're gonna find out. All right. Come on. Where's the vertical? Okay. So branch vertical. Sorry, I thought I had that pulled up here, but I don't. 38-inch vertical for Zachariah Branch. So they met, obviously, sentimental favorite there with him being related to the late Cliff Branch. Could possibly be a Raider. I think he's expected to go somewhere between maybe the third, maybe fourth round pick, somewhere around there. So we'll see what happens there. But Raiders did meet with him earlier, uh, probably the middle of last week. So um, we'll see what happens there. But great combine all around. Um, real quick, let me go ahead and hit up the chat before I continue on. Let's see here. Shout out to my guy John Leone in the building. What is good, my guy? Appreciate you pulling up. Salute, salute. Let's see here. Shout out to my guy AR Afakasi Raider in the building. What is the deal, my guy? Appreciate you pulling up. Salute, salute. Alec M in the building says Raiders need to draft on defense a lot. We're definitely gonna go ahead and go into that for sure, my guy. Salute to you. Appreciate you pulling up. Let's see here. My guy Rachel Chris, are you doing breakfast for this year? Most likely, I probably will. Got to figure that out with the family, of course. Usually, we go ahead and tie that trip in with the fam, also in Cali and LA area. So we're gonna get that figured out. But I should most likely be at that event. So that'll be a good one. Sorry, guys. My allergies are tripping. All right. Let's see here. Shout out to Alfredo in the building. What is good, my guy? Appreciate you pulling up. Salute, salute. All right. Let's see. Okay, so let's go ahead and continue on. All right. So we just got done with the NFL Combine, right? A couple guys stood out. And I think now that we got, for those that tapped in, we all got a pretty good look on some of the talent that is out there that we can potentially go after. That's in our wheelhouse. And what I mean by our wheelhouse, somebody that we can potentially go ahead and draft and either basically outside of the first round, right? Bar none, again, if they trade down and they get multiple first or they trade back into the first, but usually it's probably going to be most likely in the second round. We're going to go ahead and really start going to work there and really being more methodical with these draft picks. So let me go ahead and kind of start off from the beginning. And again, I try to watch the majority of this combine. I had to juggle work and the kids. So some guys I may have missed. Haven't had a chance to really go back and look at some of these guys, but just kind of starting out with the D tackles. Keenan McDonald is a guy that kind of stands out. Lee Hunter. I think we met with Lee Hunter last week, and so apologies for not mentioning him, but we did meet with him last week. Guy from Texas Tech. Pretty phenomenal player. Guy 6'3", 318, so he's a big boy. Can definitely help us plug up that middle with for us now in the market of really pursuing a nose tackle. Dominic Orange is another guy that I did like as well. Definitely a guy to go ahead and keep a lookout for as well. Daryl Jackson Jr. out of Florida State is another potential. Albert Reed just looked pretty good too during the combine for the D tackles. While the D tackles were out there, Tim Keenan is another guy. Just kind of keep your eye out on if we don't pick up a guy early as far as a nose tackle between rounds 2 and 3. This is a guy that you can go ahead and look out for, maybe round 4 or 5 and on. Cameron Bell is another guy, D tackle out of Arkansas. He had pretty good combine. So looking at the linebackers again, going into this new defense, definitely one of the areas that we have to go ahead and upgrade is going to be definitely that linebacker room. So bar none, like I'm gonna talk about this guy, even though he's not really a guy that we could potentially get. Sonny Styles had a great great combine. Putting it out there, got a great combine. Um, Anthony Hill too. Uh, another guy to definitely go ahead and kind of keep a lookout for. Um, after that, after that, um, Jacob Rodriguez. Jacob Rodriguez literally killed it in that fucking combine. Very, very, very great combine, athletic, nailed down the drills. Let's go ahead and go over his 40. He had a 4.57 40, 1.6 10-yard split. So kid is fast for a 7-yard for sure. Um, 30 and a half vertical jump on him. Um, you know, we saw, if you guys are paying attention to um, the college football playoffs, just literally not too long ago. We're in March already. It's crazy. But if you guys were tapping in to the college football playoffs, he had a pretty good game versus Oregon. Literally was out there just disruptive. Um, just being out there covering guys. That Texas, a lot of dudes on Texas Tech. If you see a name and then the school Texas Tech, you definitely want to go ahead and keep your eye out on them. But Jacob Rodriguez is definitely a guy that is in our wheelhouse because of his performance. Looks like he's going to be either a mid to high second round pick. We pick at 36. Now, if we go out and get and I don't want to jump in too much, but let me go ahead and go into here. But if we go ahead and we're at 36, so if we go out and get Jacob Rodriguez, it will not be a reach. That's for damn sure. So, and he would definitely help boost up that linebacker room immediately. Immediately. That is how much time this guy has. Guys, it's fucking stuff. Plain and simple. Could he go higher than that? He could. But it looks like right now at the moment he's projected to go about high to mid second. 2 months ago they had this kid in the fourth round, so jumping up in 2 rounds is quite significant. It's crazy. So definitely a name to go ahead and a guy to go ahead and keep your eye on for sure. Just say a Trotter, another guy related to Jeremiah Trotter. So another guy, he had a really, really good combine, linebacker out of Missouri. Definitely want to go ahead and keep a lookout on him. I think he's around same thing about maybe latter second to third round pick, solid third round guy. Jake Olday, another guy to go ahead and kind of keep an eye on. I did like Harold Perkins' performance as well. Deontay Lawson, he had a pretty good combine. Owen Haneke, I think I pronounced that name right. Out of Oklahoma, he had a cool combine, pretty solid. Justin Jefferson, another name to go ahead and kind of keep your eye out on. Turian York, a guy to go ahead and start. And so let's say, for example, whatever reason we don't get Rodriguez, we miss out on him. Turian York could be another guy we could potentially go ahead and go after, or maybe go in on a double dip later in the rounds. Maybe a day 3 guy that we potentially go after. So there's a few other guys that went in there. Kendall Daniels, Red Murdoch. But these are kind of lower in the trough, lower in the rounds that you can guys, can go ahead and keep an eye on for sure. Let's see here. My guy Raider for Chris, he says, I like Jacob Rodriguez. Me too. Rodriguez was very impressive. Yes, sir. For sure. Shout out to my guy Darren in the building. What is the deal, my guy? Appreciate you pulling up. Let's see. All right. Yeah, TCU have some good defensive players as well. Yeah, they do. They do. But just Texas Tech, they're just I don't know. Well, those guys are that defense was a really good defense this past season. So, any guy on that list is a guy to definitely go ahead and keep an eye out for. Um, Defensive ends, the edges. Um, let's talk about this real quick. And um, I know we're talking about stood at the combine, but like who's the losers of the combine? Um, Poor Ruben Bain. Ruben Bain is surprisingly, even though he didn't participate in the combine, so to speak, was the loser in this combine. And why is that? Why do you ask? Um, for the reason being that this guy got measured. So he was at the combine. I was not participating in the drills, but was there to interview and apparently got somehow he said okay to get measured. And he ends up being a sub 31 wingspan. And once that got out, damn. This it looks like there was already stuff going out, and this happened like I think on Friday, I believe. Um, Reports going out that he was going to slide out of the top five, even potentially even out of the top 10. And I think I seen a couple projections. Too bad I didn't get to save him. Of him actually being around at getting picked up at 10, which is crazy, right? And it's just because of his measurables, having shorter arms, especially the way the technique that he does is really power based. That's really an effect, especially when you're going up, you know, top tier talent in the NFL. Stuff like that kind of matters. So it's just crazy how things can change for some of these guys in the blink of an eye. Crazy, nasty work for Ruben Bain. But hopefully, maybe a team can go pick him up early in the first round. I mean, either way, this guy's going to be a first round pick, bar none, for sure. But just want to go ahead and kind of throw it out there. This guy kind of being one of the losers in this combine for sure. But Arvell Reese, obviously, cream of the crop out of our wheelhouse. But if we're looking at certain guys, potentially, obviously, Zai Young could be a guy that we could potentially go after. Cassius Shaw had a great combine as well. Gabe Jackas, edge out of Illinois, another name to go ahead and keep an eye out for. Uh, let's see here. R. Mason Thomas, another guy to go ahead and keep out for. He had a solid combine. He didn't have like a stellar combine, but he did pretty good. Where I think he didn't really hurt himself too much. I think he didn't really go up, but he's not projected to go down. He's a solid player, so definitely a guy you can go ahead and kind of keep your eye out on for sure. Jared Moore, Key Ron Crawford out of Auburn is another guy. Romello Height, edge out of another Texas Tech. So like those Texas Tech guys, Romello edge, big dude as well. Like his measurables, he looked pretty good out there. 6'3", 239, 32 and 1/4 wingspan. So the guy has the arms. He looked pretty good. Again, another guy that looked good during that Oregon game as well. So, LT Overton could be another guy you go ahead and potentially keep your eye out on, and then Caden Curry and Mason Reger, some other guys as well. So we'll see. Surprisingly, Logan Fano, I think he's related to Spencer Fano, was out there as well. So that guy, he could be more of a kind of in the later rounds, 5th, 6th round guy, and on. If we're picking up a guy late in those rounds, so he could be a guy that we could potentially go after as well. So there's some other names out there, but those kind of round out. It's a deep class, so I think any way you kind of go, I don't think you will lose out too much in this edge class, especially that linebacker class. It's pretty deep as well. So we got some options for sure. Going into the corners. Some guys. So obviously we talked about D'Angelo Pons being one of those guys. Brandon Sice, corner out of South Carolina, being another one to go ahead and kind of keep your name out on, keep your eye out on. Let's see here. Davison Igbenogson out of Ohio State is another guy. He has a measurable, so if you want that tall corner, 6'2", 189. He ran a 4.45 on his 40, so speed is there. Guy to also kind of keep a lookout for. Will Lee out of Texas A&M as well, 6'1", 6'1.5", 189. He had a little bit slower on his 40, 4.52 on his 40. Takario Davis, corner out of Washington, another guy to go ahead and kind of keep your eye out on. Could be kind of in that 4th round, 5th round. Julian Neal, Thaddeus Dixon, some other names to go ahead and just kind of keep your eye out on. Can never hurt. For one, we need to go ahead and get a nickel, right? I don't think Darnay Holmes is going to be around this year. Come 2 weeks, I don't. Come next week, I don't see him here as a Raider. I'll be surprised if he does. He's been here for a minute. Got a shot last year. Definitely a nickel is going to be a position that we're going to go ahead and really upgrade. So picking up one of these guys that plays nickel is going to be a big thing for sure. Let's go into, and this kind of rounds out the defense. Let me go over some safeties here. Outside of Caleb Downs, McNeil McWarren is probably going to be a 1st-round pick. But after that, keep a lookout on guys like Jalen Kilgore, Bud Clark, A.J. Halsey. They had pretty good combines. A guy that I like, that I want, that I'm definitely keeping out on for. And if I had a big board, I might make a big board. Trading Stukes could be another guy that you can keep your eye out on. This guy's 6'1", 190. Ran a 4.33 in his 40. Actually, let me go ahead and I can pull it up for you guys real quick. Hang on a sec. All right, we pull this up. All right. This is Trading Stukes 40.
Thumped him. Stukes can run. He can really run on tape. We'll see how he runs here in the 40. He looks like he's rolling.
Oh, man. Guy is crazy quick. Crazy quick. But ultimately, this guy can play nickel. So, again, got to keep your eye out on. Keep your eye out on Kamari Ramsey out of USC. Like this guy too. I think he would be a good addition as well if we can go after Trading Stukes and Zachy Wheatley another one to go ahead and kind of keep your eye out on as we could potentially go after in this draft. So that kind of rounds about for the defense as far as what we need. Can always use, obviously what we need, the priorities: linebacker, nose tackle, pick up another edge, and really have that competition on the other side of Max. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know what key positions you guys think is going to be the most crucial outside of Fernando Mendoza, outside that, out of quarterback. Who do you think on defense is going to be the number one position to go ahead and really address in this draft? You guys let me know down below. Who do you like? Who should people look out for in this draft coming up as well? Also, for my peeps watching this replay, let me know in the comment section, who do you guys like? What positions should we be addressing first and foremost outside of the first round pick, and why? So you guys let me know your thoughts for sure. So real quick, let me go ahead and go to the chat again. Appreciate you guys pulling up and rocking with me on this Monday night. If you guys haven't done so already, make sure you guys hit that like, hit that subscribe on this channel, on this show. Appreciate you guys tapping in. Let's see here. Shout out to my guy Anthony in the building. What is good, my guy? Appreciate you pulling up. Salute. All right. Thank you, my guy. Appreciate you. I've been having it for a cool minute. It's a 98 draft one. It's crazy. I'm into fitted hats, bro. That's my thing. So I'm all about that. Shout out to my guy Daniel B in the building. What is good, my guy? Appreciate you pulling up. I love your avatar. Hell yeah, running that shit back again this year. You know. Alex says Malik Muhammad middle rounds would be cool too. There you go. Let's look at. Let me see if he's here. Down here. Oh, my bad. Look at the wrong one. Here we go. Malik Muhammad. Let me look at his measurables. 6', 182, ran a 4.42, 1.5, 110-yard split, 39-inch vertical. Guys got the measurables, so there you go. Like that. Good suggestion. Let's see. Shout out to my guy Alex in the building. What is good, my guy? Salute to you. Thanks for tapping in. Greg says, I like Jay Golday more than Rodriguez. Hey, it's all good, bro. I think, you win. I don't know. I'm a little bit more biased on Rodriguez. I have my reasons, but, I like him. I like, but I would definitely not be mad if we picked up Golday as well, or Golday alongside, but that would be a little bit hard. But you never know. Um, Raiders can go different ways in this draft. I think possibly if they happen to have Raiders go back into the second round, pick up another guy, another talent, or they can go ahead and a couple spots in the second round and maybe pick up an extra third and fourth round pick too. Who knows? There's different ways they can go ahead and go about it. We know for a fact that Isaac is not afraid to go up and down the board. So expect to see some moves like that happen. And I definitely think that should. Looks like of it, obviously, the first 1 to 4 rounds is going to be the majority of the time. After that, you have some talent start sliding off, right? And certain classes are deeper than others. Obviously, quarterback class is not as deep. Running back class is not as it was year prior for the running back for the running back class. Excuse me, linebacker, a little bit more deep, right? So, um, Elon Moore's, he says, Shout out to my guy Chewy in the building. What is good, my guys? Salute. Appreciate you tapping in. Let's see. All right, let's go to the offensive side here. And obviously, I think two positions kind of keep an eye out on that we potentially go after. Obviously, lineman is gonna be one for sure, and then the other being the running back room that we potentially pick up, could potentially go after a running back to complement Genty. As you guys know, Clint Kubiak did say earlier last week during the combine that we will be running a two-back system, so somebody to complement. Genty is going to be key for sure. So there's some names that we can go ahead and also talk about as well. Appreciate my guy, Sacktown Red Mike. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the like. Facts, my guy. Appreciate you with that. Salute to you, man. Thank you. All right. So let's talk about the linemen, right? Let me go back here to my banner. Here we go. All right. So who stood out the draft, right? So let's start off with the linemen. Spencer Rana had a really good combine out of our wheelhouse, right? Guy's gonna be middle to upper high first, right? Somewhere around there, probably more in that 10 to 15 range. Maguire, Francis Maguire. I fucked that up. Sorry. He's going to be another first rounder. Kenyon Proctor, probably going to be a first rounder as well. But after that, you got guys like Caleb Lomu. He had a pretty solid combine. Monroe Freeling, another guy to go ahead and kind of keep an eye out on. Max Elian Chor, another guy to go ahead and keep an eye on. He had a pretty good combine. Connor Liu, Blake Miller, Caitlin Rutledge. Some guys kind of keep a look out for. Sam Heitch, not mad at that guy. He's a center. If we're going after a center, might be a guy to go ahead and kind of keep a lookout on. He's 6'4", just over. So keep an eye on for him. Let's see here. Let me stop sharing this. All right. Connor Liu was cool. But for tackle, obviously, I think the highlight was Jenny Stunker. Jenny Stunker looked phenomenal. I think this guy's going to probably go on the low first, maybe high second, if he's there for high second. Now you have a problem. So do you go out and get a defensive player, or you go ahead and draft an offensive lineman, right? Jenny Stunker. If you go after Jenny Stunker, that means you're most likely either going to go ahead and draft a guy in the third defensive guy in the third round, because that's going to be ultimately the trade-off that you are going to do. And he would be nasty. He would be nasty on the other side of JPJ or on the side of JPJ, however you look at it. That would be a good complementary piece. But he had a great combine for sure. So I think he's definitely gonna be up there. But as far as tackles are concerned, and centers, you also have guys like Connor Liu, Blake Miller out of Clemson. He had a pretty good combine. Let's see here. Demetrius Crownover, he was pretty cool. He had a solid combine. Drew Shelton as well. He had a pretty good solid combine. Pat Coogan was cool. He did look stiff in some areas. But I think he's projected around 6 or 7. So if you want depth at center, that's a potential late round pickup that you can go ahead and go after. Um, Dark horse, a guy to kind of keep a lookout on, right? Especially for those guys doing out the mocks. Jude Bowery out of Boston College. He had a pretty good, solid combine guy to go ahead and kind of keep an eye out on. Did a mock the other day. I did pick him up around the fourth, fifth round, somewhere around there. So a guy to go ahead and just kind of keep an eye out on as well. Um, let's see here. I did like the Oos out of Wake Forest. For Mo, another guy to go ahead and keep your eye on as well. So Slaughter was pretty good as well during his combine. I think he had a cool combine, just solid. So those are some of the names. Enrique Cruz was cool too. Surprising he's kind of placed a little bit lower on the rankings here for the combine, but I think, and he's a tackle out of Kansas for the Jayhawks. So just a guy to go ahead and keep an eye on. The guy 6'5.5", 313. Not huge, but this guy was he's solid. Uh, 33 and three quarter arm wingspan. So, and he had 40, 275 seconds. For big guys, that's pretty good. Um, so those are some of the names. Just kind of keep a lookout for during the draft. When we do draft, that kind of stood out during the combine. And some of these guys, depending how we draft, some guys we might have to go ahead and pick up later in the later rounds. Just depends on what needs are put priority by Tech and Kubiak. So um, let's talk about a little bit about the running back room. Outside of Jeremiah Love and Jadarian Price, a couple of guys stood out. Adam Randall, got to keep an eye out on. Nick Singleton, uh, Emmett Johnson, a guy to keep an eye out on. I like Roman Hembley, a guy that you can go ahead and pick up probably in the fourth, fifth round as well. Let's see here. Desmond Reed out of Pittsburgh could be a guy also to kind of keep a lookout for. Jam Miller, having be another one. Robert Henry had a so-so combine. That could be potentially a late round pickup. Go ahead and pile like in the sixth round and on. They can go ahead and kind of keep an eye out on Rashul Faison out of South Carolina. Um, guys keep your eye out on as well. So um, those are some of the names. Again, the whole thing with the running back room. You don't have to get a guy early. You don't have to even get a guy in the mid rounds. You can get somebody you can get somebody in the later rounds just to be that just give a different dynamic to Ashton Genty and help with some of the reps as well. Obviously, we can't have Genty out there all the time, but if we can go ahead and draft a guy that has some talent that might just need some work on certain areas, that is definitely coachable. Obviously, we might have something there, right? So, but the priority is not really running back at this moment. Obviously, I think linebacker is, but offensive line, it just depends on what this free agency, how we do in the free agency, or what the route is, what the route's going to be there. That's ultimately going to dictate on how we draft as well, especially on the offensive side with the offensive linemen. Are we going to go ahead and draft another center? Are we going to pick up a tackle? It just depends. If we go all in on the guy that I think and looks like we are going to go all in on, we might not need a center. And this might be a situation where we pick him up only and we don't do anything else as far as the offensive line. In free agency, we might draft a tackle, a right tackle. Could possibly be the play. Don't know, right? We could potentially upgrade both the center and the right tackle position, and that would either push up DJ Glaze or put him back at that piece and let him kind of figure things out. In year 3. So there's different routes that we can go ahead and go there with the offensive line. So we're going to get into all that and more. But again, what positions do you guys think takes priority outside of quarterback, outside of the number 1 pick in rounds 2, 3, 4, 5, and on? Who do you guys want for the Raiders to go after? Who should be that second round pick? I mean, that number 36 pick is pretty high. I mean, it's going to be significant. It's going to be an impact player. Who do you think that player should be? You guys let me know down in the chat. Again, appreciate you guys tapping in and rocking with me on this Monday night for another edition of Raiders Unfiltered. Appreciate you guys. Let's see here. But yeah, let's go ahead and pull up to this. Talk about this. Free agency starts in 9 days, y'all. Again, right around the corner. We're gonna go ahead and hit free agency. I'm gonna go ahead and get into this one, right? Oops. Okay. All right. Who will the Raiders target in free agency? That's gonna be the next big thing here. The next area that we're gonna go ahead and focus on. Just got done through with the draft. Now focusing on free agency. A lot of people, especially myself, are very excited for that to happen. As y'all know, there is a lot of holes, a lot of areas that need to be fixed in this team on both sides of the ball, not just on the defensive side or just on the offensive side. Both sides of the ball need to be addressed for sure. So, especially now with, again, this new scheme that this new defensive base that we're going to go ahead and unfold this season on a 3-4 base defense. We're going to go ahead and need to upgrade some rooms as well. So, but first and foremost, I think the talk that we've been talking about since even before the season ended, the offensive line, having such a poor performance that affected us in so many ways, but ultimately helped us get the number 1 pick alongside Geno Smith. And we'll talk about Geno Smith too as well. Hang on one second. I was going to put this up. But what position, who are we going to go after? Who are we going to target, right? So let's go ahead and dive into that, y'all. Hang on one second. Let me put this up. All right, here we go. All right. Raiders to pursue Tyler Linderbaum. We already knew this. Everybody else is, I guess, trying to catch up, but it was put out there earlier today. Raiders will pursue Tyler Linderbaum. Will heavily pursue Tyler Linderbaum in this free agency coming up. As y'all know, one of the areas that we need improvement on is the center position, and there's a little bit of controversy with that, right? Y'all know, we already have a potential center in the building already in JPJ. For whatever reason, the previous regime decided he was not a good fit to be the center position. Supposedly, there's some deficiencies there. There's some deficiency in calling out certain blitzes or certain defensive schemes. For the center position, it is more of a thinking man's position, not so much, um, go out there and just maul, right? There's some usually that position is more technique than it is just power. So, and it's not something that JPG normally does, even though he is a really good center and is a Remington winner at Oregon. But having a guy like Tyler Lindenbaum, who's been around the league for going on his 5th year, who's been doing it at a high level for quite a while now, basically through all of his collegiate time up and then up until this whole time in the league, so about 7-8 years now. He's been at the center position, also a Remington winner, and is most likely going to be the highly sought out center in the league, projected to go around anywhere from 20 to $25 million, or even more, potentially go up to 30. I put that out there. I think that we're going to be in a situation where we might get into a bidding war. It might go up to that range where we might be looking at possibly spending upwards to about 30 million for a center. So, and again, for me, it's always been, how much do the Raiders want to go ahead and realistically spend on a center? Are they willing to go ahead and spend 25, 26, 28 million dollars on a guy like Tyler Lindenbaum? If that's the case, then it makes sense to go ahead and keep this guy on the long-term deal. And I'm talking about 3 to 4 years, maybe a little bit longer. I wouldn't go too long, for reason being these guys, their longevity is not too long, right? But for Tyler Lindenbaum, believe he's turning 26 this year, so he is on the younger side. He would be with us for quite a while if there is a deal that were to happen for Tyler Lindenbaum. Again, his market value currently, again, this is short spot track. This is about $18 million. $18 million. And again, reports being out there that looks like it's probably going to be for him anywhere from like 23, 24, possibly even $25 million and up. That doesn't say that it could be more. It could definitely be more. If we're on a bidding war with the Chargers or any other team, this might be something that is going to also affect us, and just this is a thing to kind of keep a lookout on when it happens, when it starts going down next week. If we're, who are we going up against, or who do we go up against? Because sometimes they won't, insiders won't put that out there if we're in a bidding war. But if it does leak, depending who it is, like if it's the Chargers, and they're out there trying to outbid us or just rick up the price so we could spend our cap, that also does play a factor. But I believe this is a guy, if you can go ahead and spend money on, this would be the guy to go ahead and spend that money on a guy like Tyler Lindenbaum that would literally instantly upgrade that offensive line. So you guys, let me know your thoughts on the Raiders going heavy in on Tyler Lindenbaum. Are you guys for it? Are you guys against it? You guys, let me know your thoughts on this. Again, appreciate you guys tapping in with me on this Monday night. Let's see here. Anthony says, our first pick, take O-line and a young, solid wide receiver. All right, there you go. Anthony is going offensive minded. Okay. I'm not mad at that, bro. I'm not mad at that. Joe says, I went to a Raiders game for my birthday and got 12 signatures. There you go. Salute, bro. Alex says, Tyler to the Raiders. JPJ is not him. He says JPJ will be on his third coach, not seeing him at center. He's at guard. I think so, bro. I think so. This is the thing also too, guys. And I don't want to shit on JPJ. I like JPJ a lot. And this what I'm gonna say, this is a compliment to JPJ. If we can't get Linderbaum, we have JPJ. So it's not the end all be all. But if you can get Tyler Linderbaum, get Tyler Linderbaum. Because you can't bring in a guy like that. It's definitely quantifiable. Like, meaning this guy is definitely brings the experience and knowledge of him just being at center. I mean, this guy would just play the last 4 years at center in the league. We had JPJ at center year one. Then last year they switched him off to guard, so he didn't really get any reps at center. So not just having that consistency makes a lot of difference. So just having not played center for a whole year, it is impactful. So but if they go with JPJ at center, you definitely got to go ahead and keep him at center. Would not fuck with that dude unless he just completely bombs it. I don't think that would be the case with him. I think he is talented enough, but I think that the strong suit would be at guard. So Greg says, I don't down credit JPJ after the Carrolls tried to sabotage him. Yeah, and it could be a sabotage, but also too, yeah, keep in mind, my guy, that what they did to him can also play a mental factor, mental psyche, to play to his mental psyche, because now it could affect him, because you have these guys come in and say, you know what, you're not it at center. You're better suited at guard. That's gonna fuck with your head, and the amount of shit and the scrutiny he endured last season could affect his performance. So now that we have real coaches in the building with Dennison, hopefully he fixes that. I really do, but I do feel that Linderbaum would be a big upgrade to this offensive line. Now, another guy that could be another benefit, another benefit for this offensive line, Braden Smith. Braden Smith, right tackle for Indiana for the Colts, going to be 30 this year. It could be a big upgrade for that position. We saw what happened with DJ Glaze his regression. Upgrading that position with Braden Smith would be good. Jonah Williams would be another guy to kind of keep an eye on. He is a year younger. He's going to be 29 later this year, or next year, I should say. So, those two guys on the younger side would be catch as well. So, also too, if this regime is not sold on JPJ at center, they cannot get Linderbaum. You'll also have guys like Connor McGovern that could be they could potentially take a flyer on and bring him in as a replacement and as the new center here, and they can bring him in on a similar long-term deal. I want to say too long. The guy is 28. You can bring him in for a 3 or 4 year deal, or obviously you can go ahead and give him the 1 year prove-it deal as well to see how he performs. But I do see some big moves coming for the offensive line. I think we'll see more names come out in this free agency that we potentially go after. Obviously, also too, keep in mind we might get some guys for depth as well. So if you don't see, we see later on some names being brought up that you're like, the fuck is this guy? It might be some depth, especially at that left tackle position. That might be a position that we potentially maybe draft a guy in the later rounds. You can go ahead and kind of groom him up and be that depth, and at least give some competition to Charles Grant. If you're going to go ahead and bring some depth to that left tackle, right tackle. If you don't replace him with a guy like Braden Smith or Jonah Williams, you'll have Glaze. You can have Charles Grant. Charles Grant showed some promise too, being that swing tackle. So you can go ahead and have those two guys have a little bit of battle there. So who's a better guy? You can always push up DJ Glaze to their guard position. So there's different ways you can go. But one thing is for sure, I think the Raiders are going to definitely go ahead and swing for the fences on Linderbaum in about just over a week. So we'll see what happens with that. Real quick, shout out to my guy 805. What is good, my guy? Appreciate you. Thank you for pulling up. Salute to you. Hopefully you had a great weekend and all is well on this Monday night. All right. Let me go ahead and keep on pushing through, y'all. All right. Could the Raiders target Devin Lloyd? That is another possibility. As we talk about the linebacker room, Devin Lloyd is on the free agent market as well, and could be a hot commodity coming up real soon. So definitely a guy and a name to kind of keep a lookout on. Let me go ahead. There we go. All right. So again, could the Raiders go ahead and target like a guy like Devin Lloyd? Let me go ahead and kind of bring him up real quick. Let's see here. Let me go look at it. His market value. Thought I changed this. I'm back. Here we go. All right. Devin Lloyd, just around the $20 million mark. That is his current market value out of Jacksonville. But would also probably give you that instant boost to that linebacker room. I doubt us retaining the services of Devin White and E-Rob. I think they're probably going to be heading on out. Same thing for Jamal Adams. I do like Jamal Adams. I wouldn't be mad if they keep him, but I don't really see him fitting a whole lot to what we're trying to do, especially when it looks like that we're going towards the youth movement. I don't really see those guys really factoring in. Devin Lloyd being on the younger side, this guy is 27 years old, so it looks like he's going to be 28 later this year, so still on the younger side. So he would be a pretty good pickup if we decide to go ahead and pick up a guy. But that you're looking at about 21, 22, probably $23 million. Him paired up with Linderbaum, if you're spending also 20, 23, 25, let's say you get him at 23, you're at 46 million already into the cap, barring we still got to go ahead and pick up other guys as well. So just kind of things to kind of keep in mind. But this guy would be a pretty good pickup. So if there's a guy that you go on defense, this will probably be one of those guys as well. All right. Could Rashid Shaheed be a target as well? Let me go ahead and put this up. There we go. All right. So Shaheed already being linked to having interest by the Raiders. As you guys know, he was with the Seahawks. He was with Kubiak. Followed Kubiak with a couple different spots as well. So could this be the next landing spot for Shaheed? Could definitely possibly be. I wouldn't be mad at this one. Obviously, we do need a special teams guy. This guy can do kick returns, but also he would also help us in the wide receiver room. He would not be a wide receiver one, but he is definitely another guy to go ahead and add into the mix. Guy's a speedster. He has that speed. He has that like the uh, great catch ratio as well. So it would be solid all the way around. Guy, I know we have Trey Tucker, and this is the thing. It's like adding another Trey Tucker. The difference is this guy is 6 foot tall compared to our guy, little Trey. It's 4 inch difference. 4 inch difference. It does make a difference. So just kind of some food for thought. I wouldn't be a whole lot of surprise if this transaction happened, if we were able to go ahead and pick up Rashid during free agency off the bat. Let me kind of go ahead and kind of get you his market value real quick. Let's see here. He's looking on the cheaper side. He's not too expensive. He's about $14 million. So he's not breaking the bank. You can bring this guy in for 15, 16, maybe 17. Maybe we'll go ahead and give a little bit of discount. So you could possibly bring him in for 15 and a half around there. And so now you're at 46. Now you're at about 67 in the cap. And then currently that cap, right now we're at projected about 87. That could potentially go to just over 100, depending on the cuts and the restructures. If there's any restructures that happen, we might get a little bit more. So we'll see what happens in that front. But this could be another guy that could be a Raider come next week. So we'll see what happens with that. Real quick, here we go. Shout out to my guy Arnie in the building. What is good, my guy? Salute. Appreciate you pulling up. He asked a question: who is the most important free agent to and resign with our new offensive and defensive scheme? Free agent to sign Linderbaum. I just talked about him. This guy will definitely go ahead and instantly boost up your offensive line. Solid center, great experience, Remington winner as well. He's just been doing the position longer, so he brings a great deal of experience at that position. Will be a leader at that position as well. I got to bring back, I think, obviously, Eric Stokes is a guy that you go ahead and bring back into the fold as well. I don't think that's a guy that you go ahead and let him walk out the building. So he had a pretty good year last year. I would definitely like to see him back in the silver and black for sure. All right. Let's go move into this part, the rumors.
Love rumors. Facts can be so misleading. Were rumors true or false are often revealing.
All right. Yeah, y'all already know what time it is. Y'all already know what time it is. We're gonna go ahead and go into the rumor mill. Here we go. I was trying to see if I can find all right, I'm thinking how we're going, but let me just go into it. Could Maxx be traded by next week? So y'all know, this was put out by Albert Breer just like a day or two ago, saying that Maxx could potentially be traded within the next week, within the next 7 to 10 days. He could be a guy that's going to be shipped off. And there's other rumors that have been swirling. Obviously, we covered on Saturday, talked about potentially the Lions had the trade parameters already willing to go ahead and send over to SpyTech to possibly get that potential trade going. They had an issue with one of the corners being arrested, and supposedly their focus has shifted, and that deal got killed, right? Or that deal, or them potentially going out and trying to acquire Maxx Crosby got killed. But our beer putting it out there. Something that came out literally the last last day or two about Maxx Crosby potentially being shipped out. Literally 14 hours ago is when this was put out. So let me go ahead and share that with you guys real quick. And this is on Albert Breer's SI site. He says, I lean towards Maxx Crosby being traded, trade happening maybe this week. He says, but there's going to have to be some needle threading. I don't think the Raiders want to go through the song and dance of shopping him, nor do I believe Crosby wants it advertised that he's looking for suitors, given his bond to owner Mark Davis and his view of himself as a Raider. So he goes on to say, so what would be the cleanest for everyone is for a market to emerge organically, and that could happen given most teams are going to start spending their cap and cash budgets and filling roster spots a week from now. So there you have it. You have Albert Breer kind of putting it out there that supposedly Maxx Crosby is going to be traded within the next week or so. And then, obviously, he's going on to say that he doesn't believe the Raiders want to go ahead and go through the song and dance. And then, no, they don't. And this is the thing, the part that I'm going to go ahead and hit at right now is that the market to emerge organically. The market if there's a market, and there is, I'm not going to say there isn't. And there is, and I think there always will be until the Raiders start winning. But this market that has to be organic has really been pushed by the media. And if there is a big market, it is because of the media. It's partly also due to guys like us. We keep talking about this shit. Everybody. This is probably done with this conversation, but this conversation will continue to go on until after free agency begins, right? Until there's something that happens, right? And I don't think this is really going to be over until after the trade deadline. Until after the trade deadline, it could possibly start. It could possibly stop. But even that, who knows with that, right? And we just had this happen 4 months ago, right? Or 5 months ago. I forget that we're in March. We're in March now. And we had the same scenario come up, and it was leaked with the whole Cowboys trying to go ahead and potentially go after Maxx Crosby. That got shut down, and then things being literally thrown out there Super Week by Jake Glazer. And here we are now, right? This thing has kind of manifested itself into its own creature. But my thing is this, if you're going to go, and like I said, I've been saying that, I'm going to continue saying, if they're going to move Maxx, it's not going to be broadcasted out there. Just like Breer said, they don't want to go ahead and go through a song and dance of trying to move him. And Maxx doesn't want to go ahead and put it out there that he's looking for suitors. If it does happen, it will happen suddenly. It will happen quietly at first. Then the announcement is made, which will be a little bit of shocking, but be very sudden. And Spike is going to take the blame, saying that it's good for the team, it's a betterment for the team, yada, right? Maxx is not going to take the heat for this, even though he's probably going to be the one signing off on it, if it does even happen. I don't think it happens. 60-40 that he's going to stay, but 40% that there could be a possible trade that does happen. I'm not going to go ahead and just completely eliminate that out of the realm of possibility, because it could definitely happen. And if it does happen, my take, and will continue to be, if they go ahead and trade Maxx Crosby, get the maximum value for him, no pun intended, but get as much as you can get for a guy like Maxx Crosby. And again, I think for them setting up the bar where you're asking for 2 firsts and an impactful player, you have it right there. I mean, you can switch that impactful player for like a second round pick. Most likely will be for like this year, and you might have something there. And I think if you get a deal like that, you got to entertain it. You got to at least talk about it. You can't completely ignore it. Obviously, if you're getting 3 first round picks, that's the conversation you need to have. You don't have to have. You need to have it, because that could definitely fast track our rebuild really, really quick. But I don't think the Raiders should shop Maxx Crosby. That's for sure. I don't think Max gets moved. But again, if he gets moved, he gets moved. If he gets traded, he gets traded. I think I'm at that point. I love Max. I don't want to see him go. I don't believe in this whole timeline stuff. Sorry, 805. Sorry, Jeff. And shout out to my guy Jeff. Much love to my boy. But I'll push back on some shit like that. Because the whole emphasis of being on a timeline, the timeline is whatever the team sets as a timeline. If the team wants him here, they're gonna fit him into whatever fucking timeline they're going on. If Max wants to be here, he's gonna fit into whatever timeline there is. That's just a simple fact of it. So I don't when I hear that, no, I don't buy that. I think we're at a point now where things are so put under a microscope. Everything that he does, everything that he says, everything that he doesn't say. I think we're at a point where we're just like that. We're like that needy girlfriend that needs constant validation and asking, "Do you love me?" Like every hour, every 5 seconds. Do you love me? Do you love me? Do you love me? Like, motherfucker, you know I do. I've been here for a mad minute. Like, what? One more. I buy you flowers. I do all this shit. We go out. We do all this. So where my heart's at. I want to be here. I tell you I love you. I think we are so jaded with all the stuff that we've gone through that we need that constant validation. Because if you don't get that constant validation that he wants to be here, he wants out. That's the automatic number one go-to. I think we're at that point. Hey, I'm guilty of it too sometimes. No, I'm not shaying on anybody, but I think it's just things are going so crazy that it's starting to go that way. But hey, again, we'll see what happens. We'll know in about 9 days if they're going to go ahead and pull the trigger on this thing. Because guess what? They are going to come a calling for that. They're going to come a calling for Max. And you already know SpyTech's going to go ahead and listen to deals, and that's okay. Listen to the deals. But doesn't mean he's going to necessarily say yes to the deals. I wish I could find that little snippet. There was a video of him saying that people, I could tell people until I'm blue in the face that no, we're not going to do this or we're not going to do that, right? Talking about Max. But instead of me, there's going to be a point where I just stop saying it and I just start listening. There's nothing wrong with listening, but doesn't mean I have to say yes to it. So that's just a little food for thought for y'all. Real quick, let me go ahead and hit up the chat again. Appreciate you guys rocking with me on this Monday night. Raiders Unfiltered Overreaction Monday. Appreciate you guys tapping in. Salute to everybody here. Shout out to my guy, Raider Ryan, in the building. Salute to him for being a member for 10 months, for being part of the JRB fam. Salute to you, my guy. He says, Nation, which second year player makes the biggest impact? That is a good question, man. Honestly, I think we're gonna see out of the whole bunch. I'm gonna put in Ashton Genty in that thing. I think Ashton Genty, we're gonna see probably the real Ashton Genty come out. We've seen flashes. I think it's now we're gonna have Clint Kubiak really utilize him properly as he should. Once we upgrade this line, which we will, you're gonna see that. So, oh, he said aside from Manchester, all right. Aside from Manchester, I think Jack Bash is gonna be a guy that we probably see some biggest impact because he didn't have any impact last season. So I think we're gonna see that. And again, Clint Kubiak utilizing him, giving him more targets, bringing out the maximum potential out of a guy like that. We know what Thornton is, and he is not. He is not a wide receiver one. As much as we want to hope it to be, praying it to be, whatever, he is not that guy. He needs a lot more work, and that's on me. I thought he had some talent. I thought he could be something. Sorry, got that one wrong. But the guy needs more work, and he's a 4th round pick. He has the speed. He has the measurables. It's just the route running, the hands, just not there. Didn't translate over. So sometimes it happens, right? There's many possible reasons for that. So let's see here. But yeah, let me continue on. Alex says Rams, if they give him the Rams 13th and 29th, I take him. Okay. I assume that's Max, but okay. Arnie says Cowboys 12th, 20th pick this year plus a defensive player on their roster. I don't think the Cowboys will do that for Max. I don't think they'll give up a defensive guy. I think they'll probably give up a different guy. I don't know. We'll see if that happens. And Cowboys being one of those teams, the Rams being also mentioned in that group of guys potentially going after Maxx Crosby. So I forgot who. There was like a 13 too, third and 14 too. The point being is that you're going to have a lot of teams calling. I think Niners also in that mix as well. So we'll see how that goes. But I'm a firm believer that I don't think Max gets traded. To be honest with you guys, again, 60-40. Could it happen? Yes, but I just know that I don't think he's going to get traded. But I could be wrong. So hopefully I'm not. Ernest says trade number 1 pick and Crosby, start the real rebuild now. Let's just give up the whole team and just pick brand new players from the get-go. Might as well. Just kidding, bro. I mean, look, when are you going to address any of these guys? You're giving up a solid guy that could perform, and the quarterback that we need, and hopefully be able to be in a position next year with whichever pick. So if it's our pick or some other team's pick, whichever is higher, to be able to get us in a position to get the quarterback, or eventually we're gonna have to go ahead and give up the 2 number 1s for a top 5 draft pick. Yeah, you can have it, but again, you don't know how these guys are gonna come out. We thought Drew Aller was gonna, I remember in 25, wait until next year till Drew Aller comes out. He's gonna be phenomenal. And Drew Aller had a terrible 24, I should say, 24, 25. I think it's 25. Yeah. And then last season, Drew Aller had a terrible year. Yeah, he didn't have a good year. So, here we are now. So you just don't know how things are gonna happen. Some of these guys might regress. Some, they might show the potential and they might not work out. Same vice versa. Guys could be projected at number 1. They might not live up to number 1. It's all a gamble. It's all a guess. There's things called educated guesses. I think Fernando probably gives the best shot of having excuse me, having a very, very good quality quarterback at our disposal to really help our team improve. But it's yet to be seen. Yet to be seen is one of those things. Shout out to my guy Donuts Duncan in the building. What is good, Frank Weber? Salute, my guy. Appreciate you pulling up. Duncan's like, just leave Max alone. He's always going to live. He's always going to give his all, and that's all we need to know. Facts, brother. Facts plus tax. Appreciate you. 805 says, "Oh, the timeline is real. Time to embrace reality." Salute to my guy 805. Oh, but here we go with the anti-Max propaganda. Jeff, trade Max and the number one, and we'll have 6 total first-round picks and use for this year and 2 next year. So we're gonna have 15 first-round picks. We're gonna use about 8 of those, keep 7. We're gonna draft another quarterback, another wide receiver, a couple of edges, a whole new special teams. I like your thought process, my guy. Salute to you. Yeah. My guy. I hope he does too. I think he could too. Having be another year with us, obviously, even though Pete's gone, Graham is gone, still have Robbie Leonard. He's in the building. He's he has that familiarity. Joe Woods is here, so I hope he does better in this year for sure. Let's see. Real quick. Am I taking guests? I am technically writing solo, my guy. I'll make an exception for you, but I'm not gonna be on too long. But let me know if you're down. Hit me up. Send you the link, my guy. If not, we can run back next week for sure. Let's see here. Ernest says Kubiak and his staff can take most QBs and turn them into gold. Not most, but I mean, you can only make you can't make damn, I was gonna come up with a good joke, but you can only do so much with certain dudes. We can't turn wine into water sometimes. That's just not how it goes. But if the potential's there, if you have the grapes, a couple of ingredients, you might be able to go ahead and make a really, really good wine. So it just depends, man. Just depends. Arnie says, what other rumors other than trading Max is there? We're gonna get to it. Yes. Sorry, we went into the whole Max. This was my Max overreaction, bro. Even though it wasn't the whole big reaction. I guess it was a little bit. Jason, my guy Jason Down says, we are in the best position right now to get a franchise QB. If we do trade back, shuffle does not guarantee us that a quarterback of the same or better caliber. Facts, my guy. That's just how it is. Nothing is guaranteed for sure. But if we get 20, if we get 15 to 20 first round picks, according to Jeff, might have a shot. I hope so. Jeff says average QB from what I hear is so franchise. Nope. All right. I don't know what he's talking about, but okay. Let's see here. Okay. Yeah, hold on. I'll send it to you right now, my guy. Well, I'm gonna have AR pull up real quick. Here you go, my guy. We're gonna go ahead and talk about the next rumor. Thanks. Well, I had it already on. I already had the banner for it, Arnie, and we're gonna go ahead and talk about it. But the next rumor that was put up there today as well: could the Raiders trade for Jermaine Edmonds? That is the other thing that also has popped up just earlier today or the other day. Let me go ahead and pull that up real quick. There we go. All right. Again, shout out to my guy, Raiders Resistance. If you don't follow Raiders Resistance, you are whack. You guys are whack. No, I'm just kidding. Make sure you guys go ahead and give my guy Raiders Resistance a follow on Instagram and also on X. For all my peoples tapping in on Twitter, aka X, go ahead and give my guy Raiders Resistance a follow. Coming up with the fire content and breaking news as always. Salute to my guy. But he put this out there the other day. Raiders have been named as a potential team for Tremaine Edmonds. It goes on, the Las Vegas Raiders have been named as potential suitor for the Bears linebacker Tremaine Edmonds, per Jeremy Fowler at ESPN. Edmonds, 27, requested to seek permission from the Bears to seek a trade. Titans and Raiders were mentioned as possible candidates who may reach out about Edmonds. So could this potential be a guy that we go ahead and go after in a trade? I don't really think so for there being options in free agency that we can go after. We just talked about Devin Lloyd, right? Devin Lloyd being out there is also 27 years old. Also, a really, really solid linebacker would help boost our linebacker room. Again, we would have to go ahead and trade for a guy like Jermaine Edmonds to go ahead and come in. I don't really know what draft comp he would be. I assume maybe a third, maybe a fourth. Somewhere around there, probably a fourth in that wheelhouse area. So, do we have an extra fourth? Yes, we do. But knowing the problems that we have, are we willing to go ahead and give up another, one of our draft capital for a guy like him? You guys let me know your thoughts on this. Would you guys go ahead and go out and make a trade for Jermaine Edmonds? Let me know down in the chat. Again, appreciate you guys pulling up and rocking with me on this Monday night for Raiders Unfiltered. Appreciate you guys. You ready, my guy? All right, cool. So let me go ahead and bring in my guy. So we do little things off the cuff here. At Just Raiders. I'm bringing my guy, Avakasi Raider, in the building. What is good, my guy? Salute to you.
What's up, Jay? What's going on, gang? Everyone in the chat?
Thanks for joining me.
Thank you for having me. I didn't mean to break into your solo stream, but just throughout the
you could break in anytime, my guy. You could break in.
Big pause. Big pause. Yes, that didn't come out right, but you know what I'm talking. What I'm trying.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But yeah, I mean, when we're talking about the whole Maxx deal of him potentially being, according to Aberbeer, potentially being on the move by next week, being thrown out there. We talked, some people are already putting out there trading back the number one pick, trading Maxx, getting like 15 first-round picks, and making an actual big rebuild from there. What are your thoughts with everything that's kind of gone on, the last week or so, and everything that's kind of popped out there for the Maxx rumors and trending out the number one and all that good stuff?
Look, Maxx Crosby is a Raider until he's not. That's as far as I'm concerned. I mean, there are rumors until they show to be otherwise. If it does happen and we get good value for it, once a Raider, always a Raider. Thank you for your services. And he's been a very great Raider in a time where we've been so void of elite talent that's been coming through our doors, and we had been for a while now. He is in that upper echelon that you can consider that. So it would be sad to see him go, but if it's time and we get decent value, then okay. I'm willing to ride with it. But until that happens, it's a rumor. So
yeah. And that's the thing. This rumor literally dropped super week. By Jake Glazer, and it hasn't gone away, and um, it's just been snowballing up until this point. And so I don't think it goes away anytime soon, even after next week. I don't think it really goes away until the Raiders actually start winning, to be honest with you. Um, the whole thing about Max being on a timeline, I don't necessarily agree with that. It's whatever Max and the Raiders wanted. If they wanted to go ahead and they want to be they want to be together, they want Max to be here, they're gonna make that timeline, no matter what. That's kind of how the thing works. But if they move off of him, like I said, get as much as you can get for him. If that's what it is. I already had my conspiracy theory about it. I think if this happens, Max is going to sign off on it, but Spytek's going to take the blame and saying, whatever excuse he's going to say for it, whether it's for the betterment of the team, fast track or rebuild, X, Y, Z, whatever, right? But Max is going to sign off on it. And it'll be sad for him to go, but I think we all come to a point now where it's like either shit or get off the pot. We've gone through this so many times. It's just like, let's just kind of move on to something else, right? But we'll see what happens with that. As far as the number one pick is concerned, Raiders met with Fernando officially this week, and they had a really good interview from what I heard, an official interview. Obviously they dialed up some schemes and kind of want to get a little bit of his knowledge and certain mechanics as far as what did we go through certain scenarios and whatnot. And then even got to talk to Tom Brady. So I know you I know you're pro Fernando, but how do you feel about us taking Fernando? Do you believe in trading back? What do you think? What do you say to those who want to trade back and all that good stuff? Because you have the chat, bro. You're in it right now.
Just about everybody in the chat knows my stance, particularly Jeff. We've debated it. Salute to you, Jeff. I see you in the building. We've debated it quite a few times. He feels how we feel. I feel how I feel. And my stance is pretty clear. I'm not waiting any longer to try and take what can be a franchise quarterback at the most important, try and take a chance on the most important position in football. I mean, how many years have we been out of range of at least trying, or we don't try? And I'm tired of it. I'm over it. I'm not going another season where I'm having to wait till next year to try and find the guy. Fuck that. We're finally in range. There's a guy worthy to take. Just take him. Pretty clear for me. I don't care about no trade backs or nothing. The time is right. The time is now. That's how I feel. As for Mendoza, the way I see it, and other people see other things, but I watched him play. I see a leader. I see a guy who's raised on who's got a great foundation, who came in, took his team to a national title. The guy can throw. The guy can scramble if need be, and there's no off the field issues. He's a high character guy, so it's pretty simple for me. Like, just take the shot, and hopefully it all works out. I'm not waiting any longer. Fuck that.
Yeah. I agree, bro. There's too many variables for you to go ahead and wait another year on guys that potentially could come out, or the potentially could be the next big thing or whatever. That's why I make the example of Drew Lar. Everybody was talking about like wait until this year till Drew Lar comes out. He's gonna be high. He's gonna go like top 5 or whatever. The guy had a big regression this past season. Didn't have a good season at all. He had a cool combine, but really has not moving that needle, right? So those are perfect examples of things could go. You never know what could happen. One thing is for sure, that you got the number 1 pick now. You have a really good quarterback that shows a great deal of potential that can definitely reshape the face of your organization. You brought in the right coaches to go ahead and put those plans into place. Like, if we did not have the number 1 pick, I doubt that we have a guy like Clint Kubiak in the building. Part of the draw is having that number one pick, is potentially going out and getting a guy like Fernando Mendoza and having him here for a long time, at least 4 years. Those, if we talk about timelines, those timelines sync up, right? It all makes sense. So, we had somebody earlier says too, like, hey, Kubiak can make a great quarterback almost out of anyone. You already have a guy who's already on that path of being really, really good. You brought in the right coach and the right guys underneath him to go ahead and foster and nurture that. The time is now. If there's no other move, that is the move that you make in this draft. So I don't think there should be any big debate about it. I think you need to go. I get it. I understand. Like, training back does help to go ahead and push this team farther along, but you can also get it done trading back, a few places out of the second. There's different ways you can go about it. You don't have to go ahead and give your number one pick away. There's more options. There's more options out there. So
we have 10 draft picks. We have 9 other picks in the draft. It's not like if we select Mendoza, that's it. That's all we're going to get. We have 9 other picks to address the other positions of need. But the way I see it with round 1 specifically, I'm not saying it's a guarantee, because it's never a guarantee. Mendoza might be a misfire. He might not be what we believe he can be. You know what I'm saying? That's the nature of the draft. I get that. But to say we get it right with the drafting Mendoza and he turns out to be what we believe he can be, I will take 1 franchise quarterback over 3 good players at other positions. It's pretty simple for me.
Yeah. And I'm going to address this from Jeff. And what I said was, why do we have to spend the number 1 on a non-overall BPA if Kubiak can work with anyone? That's your best shot to work with the best quarterback. Why wouldn't you? I didn't say that. That's somebody else in the chat said. I'm just repeating what they're saying, right? If Kubiak can make a good quarterback or a great quarterback out of anyone, why wouldn't you want to go ahead and get a guy like Mendoza and make him great? If that's your
I said, I'm tired of waiting. I'm not doing this anymore. We have the first pick of the draft. There's a guy worthy at the position where we're drafting of taking, which we've had a problem with in years past, where our record hasn't been that great, but there's been nobody there worth the damn taking, or we were riding it out with Derek Carr when we had him around. So I don't want to wait any longer. Just take the damn shot. If it works out, hallelujah. If it doesn't, at least we friggin' tried, right?
Exactly.
We tried something different.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And this is the thing. Even after we get Mendoza, we should still be trying to draft a quarterback, not next year, but the year after that, and the year after that. So in 2028, then maybe 30 again, until we know that Mendoza is going to be the guy and he's working out. You have to be in that mindset. And that's something that we felt to do with the whole Derek Carr thing. We never drafted for the future in that position. We always felt like, okay, Carr's going to be the guy. He's eventually going to, work out at some point. We saw flashes in 2016, but after that injury, he was just never the same guy completely. So we just never thought the regime or the ownership front office never thought to go ahead and think that far ahead. And now we're paying the price for it, essentially. And now we're trying to rectify that. So we have the opportunity to go ahead and really rectify that mistake of not drafting a guy, developing a guy after your number 1 guy. So, I agree 100% that we just need to go ahead and pick our guy and just build around him and move forward, So
I find it interesting, like usually in the chat feed, there's guys who disagree with us. I understand that, but the majority seem to want to go the route we want to take. But when you look at like the content creators that we associate with or we're on the scene with, I find that a lot of them are on the other side of the fence, which is very interesting to me. But that's what we do. We have our opinions. It is what it is.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we all just want what's best for the Raiders and how we feel like we can get to being successful sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
Another thing we're tired of waiting for, right? And to that question there, I mean, I'll answer that. I mean, one of the Godfather's last draft before he passed, R.I.P. Al. Remember, he was the one who took the shot on Jamarcus Russell when our head coach at the time wanted to go with Calvin Johnson, and I guess that went on the other side of the coin where it didn't work out, and it was unfortunate. It is what it is. But at the same time, like I said, I keep saying it's been nearly 20 years since we tried with a first round selection, and I'm just so done with waiting. There's somebody there worthy to take. Just take him and let the cards fall where they may.
Yeah, I agree, 100%, 100%. Shout out to my guy Jack. He says, I heard a possible trade for linebacker Edmonds from the Bears. Only a 6th round, 5th round pick. At 27 years old, he's looking pretty good. I was just talking about it right now, right before AR pulled up. So my thing is this with Edmonds, and I'm not saying he's not worth it, his skill set. I'm just saying that you have options out in free agency that you don't have to go ahead and spend draft capital. We're talking about draft capital, right? So most likely, and I know you guys, there's half of the chat's probably trade back the first, but what's probably going to happen, and y'all know, the Raiders are going to go ahead and most likely draft Fernando Mendoza. With that being said, you'll have 9 more picks after that. If you go out and get a guy like Jermaine Edmonds, then you're down a 4th round pick, a 5th round pick, a 6. If it's a 6, then still, I wouldn't be too sad about a 6, but you're still down a pick. Some of those picks, you're gonna need them to pick up guys at depth or pick up project guys that you can potentially go ahead and bring in at a later time, either at to fill out your linebacker room, corner, whatever, right? Those 5th and 6th round picks are still going to be useful, especially also too. We talked about earlier, potentially picking up a running back maybe in the 6th round, 7th round. You don't have to go high on a running back. You just need a guy to be opposite of Ashton Genty, to be another workhorse, to give a different dynamic to him. So this is where Browns draft picks at 6th round, 7th round are going to come into play. You do need those. So I'm not too high on spending a draft pick to go ahead and get a guy like Edmonds. I rather there's Devin Lloyd that's out there. He's 27 years old too. He's going to be 28 this year in September, I believe. So he had a really good year. So those are guys that you go ahead and potentially go after and bring in, and he would help you also to go ahead and boost up that linebacker room pretty fast as well. So I don't know. What are your thoughts with potentially bringing in a guy like Edmonds, trading for a guy like Edmonds, or would you go and get somebody in free agency?
Look, I'm all for whatever's going to make the Raiders better. If we trade for him and he can be one of the cornerstone pieces at linebacker, because currently we have 0 cornerstone pieces at linebacker. Like, say what you will about last year's guys, and if whether or not we even bring them back, because the majority of those guys are on 1-year deals, right?
Mm-hmm.
Am I mistaken in that?
So Devin White is on. He's set to be a free agent. So is E-Rob and Jamal Adams. So that's the majority of your linebacker room right there, if not all of it.
Right.
Barring Eckenberg and Lindenberg. And maybe like another guy.
The Bergs. And how sold are you on the Bergs? I'm not.
Not sold at all. Not to be really my starting guys. No. I mean, I would Tommy, obviously he's still gonna be here, and he's a good he'll be cool depth piece. He still needs a lot of work.
He's a special team. I've noticed him on special teams, but I haven't noticed him much, if at all, when he's taken the field as a rotational guy or whatever.
Yeah.
And if he's not that by year 3, then he is what he is. But I'm not sold on any of these cats, the Bergs. So I'm all for signing, drafting, if we have to trading for a linebacker, we're going to need him. If the rumors are true that we are switching over to 3-4, I mean, shit, we're going to need just that and then some.
Right, right. And I believe somebody says that they probably will go ahead and cut him, Edmonds. If that's the case, obviously, then you have the ability to pick him up in free agency. But I mean,
Latavius Murray to answer that question.
there you go. But even with that said, I mean, a 6th round pick for a guy like Edmonds is not saying a whole lot. Then my confidence is not like a whole lot. So there's the I don't know Edmonds' story, so I don't know if he was dealing with injury last year. I don't know. I have to do some more homework on him. But if the if his market value is equivalent to a 6th round pick, it's not saying a whole lot. 4th round pick, then you got something there. So if he said if it is what I think it is, then I think he's more closer to a 4th round pick, maybe a 5th round pick, because you always get a little bit of your draft stock, your trade draft stock kind of diminishes a little bit, depreciates.
Well, we traded for Denzel Perryman a few years back for, I believe, a 6, so it's not outside of the realm of possibility. And he turned out to be one of the better linebackers we've had for the last decade and a bit.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's not impossible, but the price is the price. Whatever. If we were to make that trade, then whatever, as long as it's not too high. I mean, I mean, 4 or 5 would be my ceiling for what I would ideally like to get. But look, it is whatever for me. They need to address that position. They need to address every position.
They need to address a majority of the positions, but
majority of the positions.
Yeah, for me, I don't know. And this is where, as sometimes I disagree with Jeff, but this is where I'm in line with Jeff. Like, I wouldn't want to give a like draft capital up just to go ahead and pick him up. With there being other options, or if he does get cut, then he's going to be available in free agency, and you can go ahead and pick him up there. So, I mean, we'll see what happens with Edmonds. I don't think that's a rumor that's going to be too much on the radar, in my opinion. But I talked. I talked about earlier of the other guys. What do you think about Leonard Baum? Do you know? Have you looked into Leonard Baum, and if you did, what are your thoughts on him?
Before to answer that question, I just want to answer something real quickly from Jack. He left a comment about wouldn't mind Lucky Tarsi at nose tackle. To be honest, no, I'd like to keep him where he's at. This is a guy who's developing. I guess he's still a project guy at the offensive line position, but at least he showed that despite the experience last preseason, that he was able to exceed my expectations. I mean, to hold his own, even though it was preseason, against guys that's still at the elite level, mind you, is very impressive, being his first year in football. So, look, I don't want to chop and change and get him to do this rather than doing that. Like, just leave him where he is, let him hone his craft, and when he's ready to take the field at guard, I believe, which is the right move, then just leave him there. Don't mess with what's not broken yet. Like, just keep it simple with Lucky Tarsi. I don't want him to do anything else. But to your question, sorry, did you want to answer that?
Oh, I was gonna say, yeah, he's such of a raw talent. Like, I think the disservice you could do for him is just trying to have him learn too many different positions on both sides of the ball. It's just not going to work.
Just keep it simple.
Keep him offense.
Where he's at.
Exactly. Because he's learning the game. And this is the thing that people have to understand. Like, he's learning the game. He's played rugby, but he's getting familiarized with American football, which is still different. So the way that certain positions are done, it's all a learning process. So if you're gonna keep them on offense, the offensive line, then keep them at that. Don't fuck around and put them on defense. Yeah. I mean, you can have
him that one more year.
Yeah, you can have in a one-off position, maybe put him on a special teams, on a field goal block or something like that. But you don't want to stick him in on the D line. That just it doesn't work.
One more year on that international player program because it doesn't count against the final 53. So just leave him where he's at. I expect him to sit for another year, maybe 2 years, and then maybe he might be ready to see him fulfill the potential that he's shown so far. But that's all it is at the moment. It's just potential. Just keep it simple. Leave him where he's at to hone his craft. However long it takes, it's however long it takes. We'll see.
Yeah.
Anyways,
yeah, for sure. Linderbaum, have you got it? Are you familiar with him? Have you?
I've listened to.
What's up?
I got to be honest. It's more so probably shout out to Jeff. I've heard Jeff talk about him the most. But like for me, it's pretty simple. Like when it comes to free agency, we have the cash, so spend it. Offensive line is an area that many of us believe we need to attack, and I'm right there with you. Like get one, get two, to go with the young talent that we have, because despite our offensive line being what many consider to be one of, if not the worst in the league last year, some of the pieces there that I don't believe that they're as bad as what we were last year, or they shouldn't have been. I strongly believe it was a case of bad coaching, and with better coaching, they should be able to be better and produce better as a cohesive unit. I'm looking at the young guys like DJ Glaze, JPJ specifically, even the guys we drafted last year in Caleb Rogers. I didn't see as much of Charles Grant, but he's another one you could throw in there. Antonio Murphy is another guy you could throw in there. There's a guy that when I was at the Vegas games, he's a monster when you look at him on the bench, and that guy's Dalton Wagner. I mean, can he be any more than a bench guy? We will see. But just my point being is that there's a young nucleus there that with better coaching, I believe we can be better. And if we get another veteran or two that one or two of your more highly touted free agents available, and if Colton Miller can come back healthy for one or two more seasons until either Charles Grant or somebody else we draft is ready to take over at that left tackle position, then I think the offensive line should be better. And shout out to Predator. I see he just gave you a super chat. That's my guy right there.
Salute to my guy, Predator, the billion with the $5 super. JAR, what's up, my familia? Hey, appreciate you, my guy. Salute to you.
He's a cool cat, Predator. I love that guy.
Yes, sir.
I met him in Vegas. And I believe I met you as well in LA, if I'm not mistaken, Predator. But yeah, cool cat. Love that guy.
Yeah, he's my neighbor. No, I'm just kidding. He's almost my neighbor. He lives on the other side of the town. So there you go.
I still got his patches in my bag. If I go dig
there you go. Yeah, I have his patches too.
My holiday backpack. I still got his patches in that. So my guy.
There you go. Got the sticker though. Nice. Where I go. There you go. But yeah, I mean, look, honestly, with Linderbaum, I don't know if you heard me talking earlier. So obviously he's going on his 5th year in the league. The Ravens are not picking up his 5th-year option, so they're going to let him test out free agents. They hope to probably bring him back a little bit cheaper than they would if they picked up his 5th. But bar none, he's probably going to be the highest sought after center in the league in this free agency. The guy's been doing it for what I think like 7 years. Remington winner as well. In the collegiate level, so same part on the same wavelength as JPJ. He's just been doing it longer. He's been doing it at the pro level longer. So, my thing with JPJ, I love JPJ. JPJ is phenomenal. I think it's just with everything he's gone through, with the inconsistencies, with the last regime just kind of putting him through the grinder and just really not even giving him reps at center. I think kind of fucks with the psyche. I think you're at a point now, if you're able to go ahead and really upgrade your position and bring in a guy, a real seasoned vet guy who's been doing it longer, who's just more talented, why not? And if you can't get Linderbaum,
has he? Sorry to kick off. Has he been in the league as long as Dylan Parham?
He's going on his 5th year. I don't know how long Dylan's been.
Parham's 5th year as well. Sorry, continue.
Okay. Yeah. So that's kind of my thing. It's just like if you have the ability to upgrade it, with somebody who has more experience in that position, who has more talent, I think you should definitely do it. Not to say that JPJ is not talented at center. I just think that you have a guy who's just clear cut, who's been doing it consistently for a very long time. He would definitely upgrade that offensive line really, really quick for sure. So
I'm all for whatever upgrades every area of our team. I'm all for it.
Yeah. So those are some of the things that I was talking about earlier, and especially that you have, you could potentially also upgrade that right tackle position, depending what people's thoughts are on it, depending what could be Atkins Spytek feel. If they feel that maybe Gliz just needs some coaching that can rectify some of the deficiencies some of the regression he had last season, or they just, need to flat out push him up to guard. That's yet to be seen, but there's guys out there like Braden Smith that's going to be also a free agent. I think he's probably be one of the highest sought out right tackles out there. And he's not super expensive. He's cheaper than Leonard Baum. Leonard Baum was going roughly about 20, 25, and we're in that range, maybe a little bit more, depending if we get into a bidding war. Braden's probably coming around 13 and a half, maybe 14, around that range. So there's some options to be done on the offensive line that we can do as well. So Jeff says Meredith will make the team backup center. Yeah. I wouldn't be mad at that, bro. I wouldn't be mad at that completely. It is what it is.
Me neither. I don't mind Meredith so much as a backup interior. Do I want him starting? No, I do not. I guess it's going to be interesting as well. What do they do about Mr. Parham? Do they even try to bring him back, or they just let him walk? Honestly, I reckon they're just going to let him walk. To be honest,
I think they're going to let him walk. I think because it just the performances the last couple of seasons have not been there. It's not been, the consistency hasn't been there. I think is the biggest takeaway. And they've tried to run the zone blocking for quite a while now. They just can't get it down. And so even if you had Dylan Parham there last season, you still got cooked in quite a few
Parham
games,
to me, since he's been here, has just been okay.
Yeah.
I think we can do better than okay.
Yes.
So thank you for your services, but yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
Let's keep it pushing. Yeah, for sure. So I don't see him coming back this season, but whatever. I don't think that's a guy that we
I could see another team willing to give him the bag more than we do, and cool, more power to him.
Yeah, exactly. I think this is the guy that just go ahead and test out that market. Let's see what happens. But yeah, I talked about Raheem Shaheed bringing another guy. Potentially could be a Raider. I see that happening a little bit more. I know that even though he's not that true wide receiver one that we need, but would be another good addition to the wide receiver room. Plus, he plays special teams. We just saw what he can do. He's followed around Kubiak quite a bit. So I think that's probably going to be a move that possibly happens in this free agency with him coming in as part of that wide receiver. What are your thoughts on Rashid?
I got to be honest. He's not somebody I know too well because I watch Raider football. I don't watch too much of the other teams.
Did you get to watch the Super Bowl?
Barely. I didn't really care. If it ain't the Raiders, don't really give a shit.
I'm normally the same way.
So someone who's not as knowledgeable about this guy, what can you tell me about him?
He's a deep vertical threat. So he's kind of like on the same wavelength as Trey Tucker. I think he probably is a little bit better route tree than Trey. The measurables.
Can he catch in the contest though, which is what something Tucker lacks.
Yeah, I think
he's
he's
a
a little
50-50 guy.
I want to say like a true 50-50 guy. But I just think like um, just the routing is a little bit better, a little bit more crisper. He's taller. He's 6 foot compared to Trey, which is 5'9". The speed's the same. So you have another vertical threat. But that's the thing is that we need a 50-50 guy.
Yeah.
But the
We've
thing is
got
also
speed to burn already. I need a bona fide number one 50-50 guy because none of these speedsters that we've got have proven to be anything that can come close to that until proven otherwise. I like Tucker as a spot guy. He does well in spots. When he gets separation, he does make the catches and makes plays. But when he doesn't get that separation, you watch every contested ball he's been throwing, he loses pretty much 99 times out of 100. So
yeah. So if you think about it, Rashid is like the upgraded version of Trey. If you want to make kind of more of that kind of comparison by it, because of the size, the speed is there on par. The route tree is probably a little bit better on him. The thing with Thornton, I know we have Thornton. The thing with Thornton, he just has issues catching the ball and the way he attacks the ball.
look,
That has now.
rookie problems. Not the best
A
quarterback play,
rookie,
but
I
at the
know
same
rookie
time,
problem, but
is there? I get you, man. Like I was very underwhelmed by both our rookie wide receivers, and I hope to get more from year 2 and maybe year 3 from both of them, not just him. Best too.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, with Thornton, I mean, you kind of saw it, but he did get a lot of reps, and I was hoping that he would be that guy who can make critical catches, but it has not been it. Yeah, he says Rashid is not an every down player, a wide receiver, or a special team guy. So if you have that kick returner guy as well, we'll see. I don't know. That could be a guy that could potentially line here just because of the relationship with Kubiak um, as well. But yeah, I mean, as far as free agents are concerned, I think the positions we're going to go after is going to be linebacker, the offensive line, maybe a corner that we potentially go after as well. Um, I think we're
Yeah.
going to draft an edge. We're going to draft the majority of that linebacker room. We're going to go definitely young. I think that young moment is definitely starting to go ahead and take effect for sure. So I wouldn't be surprised, but there is some veteran spots that you need to go ahead and fill in as well. So yeah, we'll see. Did you catch any of the combine?
Only bits and pieces. I saw some of the highlights from some of the linebackers. That guy Rodriguez looked very impressive.
Mhm.
Look, I'm all for drafting a linebacker from round 2 onwards if there's a guy worthy enough to take. I just want us to draft a linebacker who's going to be around and be a good player and be a cornerstone of the team for years to come, which we just haven't done for. Like, when's the last time we drafted a linebacker that was worth a damn for a while? And I'm not talking about Khalil Mack, because for me, we used him more as an end after his rookie season. I'm talking specifically linebacker. I mean, there's been guys that I liked for a minute, like Ciro Moore, but somebody give me a name. Somebody tell me a linebacker that we've drafted in 15 plus years that that amounted to anything. That
Yeah,
was a starter and someone we could rely on our team that we didn't bring in via free agency. Like, who? Somebody.
yeah,
Yeah,
you
Kirk
should.
Morrison. How long ago was Kirk Morrison? How long ago was Thomas Howard? Like, that's how long you're going to have to dive to is
Yeah,
those days when the linebacker core was a point of strength. It just hasn't been that for a while because we just don't seem to address it properly via the draft. And then if we try to address it, we get guys like Divine Diablo, who's a project guy who did all right with us, and then he goes to another team. And of course, hallelujah, he's another one of these guys that goes to other teams and figures it out, right?
yeah, exactly. It's been That's been our story for forever and a day.
Right.
Yeah. So I think with this class, this linebacker class is probably one of the deepest that's been in a long time. I think you definitely not only do you get a guy early, but you probably double dip. Having us really needing to really, especially now in this type of defense that we're going to go ahead and run, we need to go ahead and really address that. So I would not be surprised if we were double dipping that position. I'm excited.
But
for
I
it.
don't want no more Tommy Eichenbergs or Cody Lindenberg until they prove otherwise to be more than what they've been. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like they're just not cutting the mustard for me when it comes to that's all we're getting is rotational guys, spot guys, or special teamers. I want more than that, especially at the linebacker spot.
Yeah. You need to bring in guys that are gonna definitely make an impact. Yeah. Shout out to Lecky says the Raiders, if Raiders get Jacob Rodriguez, that will be our cornerstone moving forward. Yeah, bro. I think he's he has the talent to go ahead and just be that impact guy. Again, if you guys watch the college playoffs and if you watch Texas Tech, because I caught some Texas Tech games, they had a fucking really good defense this year. And anybody who's coming out in the draft, bar Texas Tech on it, we definitely want to go ahead and definitely look into more. These guys are pretty talented. So, I talked about Romello Height as possibly us getting a guy like in third or fourth round, another edge, complimentary to Maxx Crosby, bringing him in and develop him. He's already pretty talented as it is. I think just bringing him in, be a guy that we can definitely go ahead and take a flyer on. You have Josiah Trotter. Talked about him earlier. He had a really good combine as well last week. So there's certain guys you guys keep an eye out on. I think if you're gonna get Rodriguez, you have to get him early. You're gonna have to spend that second round pick at 36. It wouldn't be a reach. I think that's just kind of where he's gonna land at. Maybe a possible low first, but I think really where he's gonna come out is probably that second round pick. So
again, I'm going to ask the question: when have we drafted a linebacker and we built the linebacking core around him for 2, 3, 4 years? When is the last one? Please, somebody give me a name, not name Kirk Morrison, please.
Yeah, for sure. Jason Down says we need a zero tech at DT. Yep. And there's some guys as well. We talked to Lee Hunter at the combine last week. Dominique Orange, another guy to go ahead and keep an eye out on for. Dominique will probably be more in our wheelhouse, probably in the third, maybe fourth round pick, probably around that third round mark, and that kind of would cinch up that nose tackle for sure. Bring in some talent there as well. So
Jason Beaker was the 90s, man. That's what I'm saying. Like that's to my point. That's how far we're having to reach back to the late 90s and the early 2000s. Like we're in 2026 for Christ's sakes.
It's been
that's no shade up to you, Jason. I'm just making a point. Like that's how far we have to reach to find a name where we drafted a linebacker and he's been an integral part of that core for at least more than just 2 or 3 seasons, and it's more than just a spot guy, more than just a project guy, or someone who just does some things on special teams. I'm so over it.
Same. So I think this is going to be a very interesting draft. But the free agency is also going to be interesting as well. Who we pick up as linebacker. Let's see here. Jack says nobody talking about Hobbs or Morg, but then they should still talk about Spillane. Yeah, I mean Spillane is a great player, bro. I mean, coming from the Steelers, where I think he's probably was on a downward trajectory on his career, and then linking up with PG and Robbie Leonard and Robbie, that's a guy that you can go ahead and put out there. Like that's a Robbie guy. Robbie fucking helped bring back his career, and make him an impactful player. That's why he had the year he had with the Patriots.
I'll give points to Jason for bringing up Rolando McClain, but don't even get me started on that guy. Do not get me started on that guy. When I've been asked this question, who's on my Mount Rushmore of my players who don't deserve the once a Raider, always a Raider moniker, he'd be one of them.
Yeah.
Well, I get your point. Look, to your point, we at least tried bringing him in to be that guy, but he sure as hell wasn't. Another guy who just doesn't work out, right?
Yeah, exactly. Let's see. Yeah, Pred says our last defense that was scary was early Mac, and that was Bruce Irving.
Well, that was because that was solely on those guys. It wasn't because of anybody else. I mean, you had Mac and Irvin on that line, and you look at the rest of the defense. Who do we have? Pretty much nobody that performed worth the damn. It's basically those two and everybody else.
Yeah. Like you said, sorry, Spillane didn't do shit either for us. So what he made the Super Bowl. Gonzalez was the only player that showed up against the Hawks. I mean, I think he had a pretty good game. Spillane did. Could there have been better games? Yes, but I think it was cool. He didn't. I don't think he threaded the needle like Gonzalez did, but I think he was still he went out there and still, did his thing. But Spillane when he was here, he was quality and he did make an impact. But
he did decent enough, but I was talking specifically about draft picks. I wasn't talking about free agent players that we bring into the door.
Yeah. Let's see. Last defense that almost took us to the playoffs.
Well, I'll give one for that. I mean, I feel like the defense when I started watching Raider football at the time wasn't too bad. That was the years we had Richard Seymour, Tommy Kelly, Kirk Morrison still around, Thomas Howard was still around. We had Nnamdi Asomugha still, Stanford Rowell as a serviceable number 2, Tyvon Branch, Michael Huff. I thought that defense back in that 2010 era was the last time I saw a better rounded defense, better than what we've had since then. I mean, yeah, we had Khalil Mack in his prime, but like that when he was around, it was pretty much him and maybe Bruce Irvin as his Robin. But like I think around that 2006, 2005 period, even though we were a terrible team overall, I believe one of those years, if I'm not mistaken, Stu Schwaggart, shout out to him, actually brought up the fact that the defense one of those years was ranked in the top 5, if not close to being top 3 or whatever it may be. It was more the offense that just fell apart. Yeah, well, I thought Jack kind of said 2006, but
2016.
You're having to reach for when we had a defense that was worth it, damn right.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, we'll see what happens with free agent. Literally, free agency starts in 9 days, so excited about that. You have some time for a mock draft. You want to stick around for that?
I'd be riding the bench, my friend, because I don't know shit about.
That's all good. I'll take the steering wheel.
I'll ride shotgun. I'll ride the back.
All right, there you go. All right, y'all. So if you guys were rocking with me and Jeff and Jason Downs and our guy Raider Will, I said yesterday I'm gonna do a mock draft. So I'm gonna do a quick mock draft. It's gonna be a short one. We're gonna go fast. We're gonna do a 4-rounder. Could trade back, could not. We'll see what happens. Kind of, if I feel froggy, then I might trade back in a round. Not the first. So let me go ahead and pull that up real quick. I got that set up here. Here we go. All right. Okay. So got my mock here. We're gonna do a quick 4 rounds. We're gonna do fast. I'll just keep it a PSN playlist. I don't know if they updated it or not from the combine. Hopefully he did. So let's see what happens here. So hopefully, I bet. Got to put it up on the screen. All right. So we're on the very first one. Stretch it a little bit. There we go. All right. So hopefully y'all can see.
Yeah, that's pretty clear.
That's pretty good. Okay, cool. All right. So number one, we're gonna go ahead and obviously select Fernando Mendoza, but we can see what the trade. We can see, like Spytech says, we can listen, but we don't have to say yes. Miami willing to go ahead and give the 11th, 43rd, 75th, and Miami's first and second next year. Obviously, Cleveland willing to give up their 624, 39, 70, and their first next year. Arizona willing to give up third, 34th, 65, first and second of next year. Indy also, wow, they are in a 47th, 78th, 113th, second and third of next year. And good old Jets will not give the second, 16th, the 33rd, which is the very first of that second round, and then their first for next year. And then, oh, Pittsburgh is even here. Willing to give up the 21st, 53rd, 76, first and second of next year. So we're going to go ahead and close this out because we're not going to do that for this one. All right. So we're going to go ahead and get our guy, Fernando Mendoza.
Next.
Yeah. All right. So now here we can really start taking some of these offers seriously. So Jets are willing to go ahead if they're down for us to trade back to the 44th. They're willing to give us their 103, which I believe is their fourth. I got to double check on that. I'm trying to remember. The Niners, if we trade back to 58, willing for they want our 36 and our 134, so that is our 5th round pick, I believe. They're willing to give their third, which is 92, and then a second for next year. Let me just double check on this. 103. What's 103? 103.
It's a fourth rounder.
Fourth rounder, okay. And then what was the other one? Was a 92, which was third.
Same frame.
Yeah. Okay. But they wanted to give up our 5th. Okay. So I think in this scenario, we might go ahead and pick up the other 4th.
Who's there?
Who's
we haven't even looked. I mean, if we don't trade, like, who's there?
Who's there? Well, I don't know. I know who's there offhand, but Caden McDonald, Keith Albany, sorry, scroll up. Chris Bell, wide receiver out of Louisville, Anthony Hill Jr. We talked about him earlier. Emmanuel McNeil Warren, that guard, Chase Binostis, out of Texas A&M, D'Angelo Pons, Denzel Boston, Chris Johnson, corner, San Diego State, Max Ilichenor, Arizona State, Zion Young, out of Missouri, and then Christian Miller, Georgia, AJ Halsey, safety out of LSU. So trading back to
sorry, that Caden McDonald guy, the tackle, Space seems to like him. What do you know about him?
So he's 6'2", 326. So he's a big boy. He had a pretty good combine. But I'll read the player info. Starting nose tackle, now he's on a track to potentially mirror Williams' draft capital in 2026 NFL draft. Former 4-star recruit. Tips of scale 6'3", 326. And add to his size, has an awesome on-attack explosive raw power capacity. McDonald with Williams was visibly more flexible and alignment versatile. Nevertheless, McDonald serves his early down purpose as well as double team magnet, combo observer, line reset specialist, and block shitter. Meanwhile, he has a high level linear explosion and trotting point of attack to power to cave in step in space on passing downs, as well as a mortar to finish plays. While he never be an elite pass rush force, McDonald is an excellent orbit DT at the 0 tech and 1 tech with overwhelming point of attack power to wreak havoc in the run game. So,
to be honest, man, like it seems like everybody in the chat are high on the guy. And my thing would be if we weren't to take a shot on him at nose tackle, is there anybody on this roster that you're confident that could be catering to that role that if we are moving to 3-4?
like on our current roster?
Yeah, currently.
I mean, Adam Butler, maybe. But the thing
Adam
is, this
Butler, I
also,
like what he did previously, but he's getting a little older in the tooth, and he wasn't up to his high standard as much as he had been his first 2 seasons with us. So,
yeah. The thing is with this, you also have guys a little bit farther down the trough. Now, let me kind of go back here. Damn, I hate that these things have ads like this.
hey Jeff,
So-
I'm there with you, man. I'm making a case for where we should take him.
Yeah, so no one. Oh yeah, so Cardinals took Lee Hunter. He was another guy that he looked good in the combine. We met with him as well. So he just went up. He just got took by the Cardinals. Let's see.
I like how on your vertical stream it looks like I'm on witness protection.
All that. Oh, okay. No, but they can see you. They can see you. We just on our view, it just blocked by that. So let's see. All right. So 805 says just say yes. Say yes to what? Take him?
I think he was talking that was before. I think he was talking about the trade.
Oh, the trade. Okay.
First round. Yeah.
Yeah. See,
He moved on from that.
Zero tech guy is what we need. Yeah. This kid played don't tackle and has experience. Yeah. Oh yeah.
It seems like the chat are pretty high on this guy.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we just get another 4th. Okay. So let's go ahead and get Caden. All right, what we got here? All right, so Cards want to go ahead and trade now. I'm gonna say no. They want to trade back to 104, essentially giving them the 3rd and the 134 pick. Passing that.
Yeah, dreaming.
Yeah, dreaming. All right. So let's see where we're at. So the Cardinals pick up Jennings Junker. He had a really good combine. Will Lee. Let's see. Let's see who picked up after us.
Rodriguez is gone. The linebacker
Is he
people
gone?
talk about. Yeah.
Oh yeah, so he got picked up at 59 by the Texans. Let's see, that's what could happen. Anthony Hill got picked up by the Bucks. Warren's got picked up by the Saints. McNeil Warren got picked up by Cincy. Halsey got picked up by the Chiefs. Zion got picked up by the Browns. All right. That's mostly on everybody on defense. Let's see what we got. Got Antonio Williams, Kenyatt Scott out of Miami, Crownover, McNeil, Mike Washington, Lewis Moore. Here you go. Gabe Jackass and Jake Golday.
Jackass.
Jackass. Jake Golday out of Cincinnati. Let me see if he's a top. Yep, he's a top. He's a top linebacker. Where are we at? 67. Yeah, he's pretty good, bro. He's pretty good. This is the guy that I think if you would go after, I would probably get him. And we need linebackers. Since we didn't get Rodriguez, this would be the second guy that I would go after. So I'm picking him. I know.
Take the shot.
Yeah, Space Beast is jackass, and he's not bad either, bro. But I think the need is more right now at linebacker than it is on edge, and that's the only that would be my only.
Do you believe he has potential to be what I was going on a bit of a rant about before? Someone we could build the linebacker core around, or be at least one of the pieces.
One of the pieces, yes. Is he going to be like? I think he's almost on par as Rodriguez. I'll probably have to see some more tape on him. But he had a pretty good solid combine. The thing is, I just know Rodriguez more because I saw more of him. If that kind of makes sense. But
if you believe this guy can be a starter,
oh yeah, he's still pick up. Yeah. Golday can still be a starter. Yeah, for sure.
Take
All right,
shot,
so
man.
we're gonna get Golday. Okay, so no trades as of yet. All right. Okay, so since he wants to go ahead and trade, give up the 102, and get 110, and then give up the 7th for next year, and then get 188. What's 110? 110's just a little bit farther down the trough. And then 188, I think, is a 5th round pick. Okay, so we're not going to do that. So we're just going to go ahead and do straight up. All right. So currently what's available.
A lot of cornerbacks in that range.
Yeah, let me go back to all. I have it on. I had it on defense. All right, but I put on all. So Hezekiah Masses, corner out of California. Dominique Orange. Now, this is why I was kind of like, I'm willing to go ahead and kind of trade back to get the extra pick, because I knew that Dominique Orange is kind of around this range. And he's still a quality nose tackle. Again, let me read you the bio on him. We already got our guy. I'm not going to get this guy, but again, he's 6'2", 328, 34-inch levers for arms. He can play naturally and attack opposing linemen with power and pass game. He can launch, anchor, and limit displacement against run blocks. Naturally, he's not an elite disruptor on one-on-one, but Orange makes his money by being an immovable mass at the fulcrum. He can go 2-gap while stationary or while on the move against zone blocks. He can stack and shed, and he has surprising pursuit range and a relentless motor. For an odd hybrid front schemes, Orange can be a definite force multiplier, early down gap enforcer. He frees up other players to make plays and measure playmaking value of his own. So this is the thing, that kind of what is there about Orange. He can do that, and I think at this point we don't need for him to do a whole lot. So just kind of food for thought. When we do other mocks down the line, I'll probably wait for this guy if he's still there, like in the 4th round. Takario Davis, another guy. He's 6'4", 194. He's a big guy.
Can I just get in there before you say read out about him? Any of these cornerbacks that are available, I don't want any more raw athletes. I want a guy who's got proven coverage skills. Has any of these guys got that? Because we've already got young athletes in the door already in Darian Porter and Cam Richardson, if you want to throw him in there as well. So I want a guy who's got some credentials when it comes to coverage coming out of college. So is any of these corners
for corner?
Could give you more potential than those two other guys
elite,
that highlighted?
Like you're talking about like elite level, right?
I'm just talking about like, do you is any of these guys have a better potential to be a better coverage cornerback than say the young guys we already have in the door, which haven't fulfilled their potential yet, but we're still developing?
Not at this point. Not at this point. I mean, these are kind of on par of like a Darian Porter, right?
So that's to my point. Is there really much point in taking another Darian Porter-esque potential guy?
No, I was just reading his thing. But
I know. I'm just making a point.
Yeah. So Yeah, if you want an impact guy, again, you probably would have to go into no later than the third. Because I mean, what we got Porter in the third round, I believe, right? Trying to recall. Yeah, we got him in the third.
Yeah. So
So yeah, I mean, you would have to get somebody in the second first to kind of be in that part. I think really what we just need somebody who can be able to play the nickel position. If you
Space
really
Beast
want
likes
to go
that
ahead.
Danny edge rusher, the one
Mhm.
just down.
Yeah, yeah, but like to kind of answer your question, the coverage I would probably look for more of a corner. That's the one that I would go ahead and upgrade. If I'm getting a corner, I'm getting getting a safe somebody who could play the nickel. That's kind of what I would go after. Um, let's see here. So far I got Fernando, I got Jaden McDonald, Gold Day. So they have let's see, they have Baldry, and he's pretty good offensive tackle. Um, let's see. Oh, Danny Dennis Sutton. I think
Yeah, that's the
that's what
guy.
you're talking
Space
about, right?
Beast
Huh?
likes.
Um,
That's who Space Beast likes.
yeah. Let's see. Let me read about something. 6'6", 256. Was productive across from top 3 draft pick of Bill Corden 24, amassing 8.5 sacks and 13 TFLs. Tackle for losses. In 2025, he echoed that production with 8.5 sacks, 12 tackle for losses at times, taking over games with his relentless motor. Sheer tendency. Dennis Sutton has the inbuilt limitations that place a cap on his upside, but nonetheless, he holds merit as a mid-round rotational target. 6'4", 266. He has an ideal frame, density, and length to go along with great explosiveness, arc running speed, and uh, available raw power and underlying urgency that never dies. Sutton's where did I lost my place? So Sutton's fluidity is a major concern as he doesn't have the bend or ankle mobility to consistently reduce and make quick transitions. He still lacks consistent pass rush plan. Nevertheless, Dennis Sutton's motor and power profile ensures he can contend at contact when operating on the attack, and those are same traits in tandem with his motor, make him a force to be reckoned with in the run defense and pursuit. Okay, not bad. 996
We need another end.
RAS. It would be nice to have another end to complement Maxx, right? Let me look at the BPA for defenses. Masses, Orange, Davis, Chandler, Sutton, Aiden Fisher is the other linebacker. Since we're just doing a 4th round, I got another guy at 124 that can go ahead and pick up. So we got one more coming to us. Let's see. So yes, let's get Danny Sutton. I like him. I like what I read. We'll go ahead and draft him. All right, and see where we're at here. So we're in the 4th. We have 2. I'm sorry, we have 2 more. I thought we had 3 more. 2 more. We have 124, 134. And who we got here? Okay, so Kalen Black, running back out of Indiana, Harold Perkins, linebacker LSU, Joshua Josephs, edge from Tennessee, Logan Jones, center out of Iowa, Charlie Demings, a corner out of Stephen Austin.
Oh, I would love to hear Jeff pronounce that name at 124.
Which was Famo. See, even I can't pronounce it.
Fa'alili Fa'amoy. Fa'alili Fa'amoy. That's it. Fa'alili. When you see that apostrophe, that's what you call it?
Yes.
So see how it's a that's how you say it. So Fa'alili. Fa'amoy. So whenever you see that in island names, yeah, Fa'amoy. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So it's not
Lily
Moy.
Oh
Okay.
my.
There you go. He actually, I liked him, bro. I saw him at the combine. He looked pretty good. I am not mad at this guy. I'm definitely
Huh.
willing to go ahead. And
Jack
take a
makes a
fight.
good point of that. Mendoza would love Black.
Yeah, he would love Black. But that's the thing. I don't know if you take running back in the fourth. I would probably wait a little bit because you don't need him to do a whole lot. And I understand because he would probably get him just for the continuity aspect. But I think it's just the needs are so much more in other positions that you just have to go ahead and just kind of wait. Sorry, Jack. You have to wait. I'm gonna have to make you wait.
Hey, don't be mean to my boy Jack. I thought it was a decent decision. Decent. What's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, I'm having a brain fart.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. Like he says, Francis Miguel.
Suggestion. That's what I was looking for. Decent.
Oh, so just yeah. Jay Love, Sunny Styles. I expect these guys to be. Yep, those are first round guys, bro. I would. Okay, so what I'm gonna do? I like Harold Perkins. He had a pretty solid combine too. 6'1", 220. He is on the smaller side though. What else they got?
More upside than a third year Tommy Eichenberg.
Yeah, I think yeah.
Please say yes. Please say yes.
Yes, he looked better. He looked way better. Yeah, I'm gonna just go ahead and take Perkins because like as far as linebackers, the next one is like Torian York, and he's not to like 129. He's a little bit bigger. Oh wait, you know what? What's his name? Oh, Perkins. Here we go. Sorry, I'm looking at some other page here on NFL.com. That is combine sets. They have him at 6'1", 223, 31, and 3 wingspan. 35.5 tackles for loss, 17 sacks, 18 forced fumbles in his 4 seasons. Okay, not bad.
Does he have a mean streak about him?
He reads and here I'll read you his strengths. He reads and run scrapes to the line to compress the front. Lands a crisp 2-hand punch to stay clean against blocks. Adequate bursts in short spaces to close on the lane. Lane development. Shifts to the route development to locate zone landmarks. Triggers a well-timed blitz to harness the pocket. Accelerates through contact to finish tackles near the line. Was a special teams demon his freshman season. Okay. Weakness, average to burst chase and squeeze runs to the boundary. Needs to be quicker in defeating skill position blockers. Linear pursuit to the football leads to missed tackles. Inconsistent breakdown in time as an open field tackler. Too much confusion on his coverage tape. Average elusiveness to bypass blitz pickup. Okay.
Sounds like a Ben Heaney.
Yeah, I don't know. As far as performance-wise, he looked cool. He looked cool. But yeah, again, he's a 4th round pick, so I'm not expecting a Jacob Rodriguez either because we got Jack Goldie. But let's see who's out there. You know what? Let me do this. Let me take the Oos at Wake Forest at tackle.
What's his name again, Jay?
Hold on, wait. I gotta look at it again. Falili Famoy. Almost. Getting better. I can do it by a third time.
Take care, Frederator. Frederator's out.
Oh, thank you, brother. Appreciate you pulling up, my guy. No face raid in the building. What is good, my guy? Thank you for pulling up. We're just doing a quick mock.
Lucky's having a laugh because he's Islander too.
The what?
Lucky's having a laugh because he's Islander as well. See, we're trying, Lucky. We're trying to educate the masses.
He looked good though, bro.
We're trying.
I saw what I saw. I know maybe Jeff's opinion isn't as high, but I like what I saw. I kept saying that yesterday Like, I like him. He looked pretty good in his drills. So I don't know. But let's see who's still there. Um go back to the draft results. Oh, okay. So the Chargers pick up York, and the Patriots picked up Perkins right after I picked up the Ooze. So it's okay. All right. Let's see here.
Kalen Black is still
Zachy Wheatley, 63203, Penn State guy, 3-star recruit. Flashing his playmaking potential. His best play came in 2024, working relief for Winston Jr. Let's see what he did the year. Amid a downturn for the entire Penn State program in 2025, Wheatley was one of the team's most consistent defenders, backed up his play with a strong Senior Bowl showing. 6'3", 201. He's a long and lean defensive back with elite explosiveness, athleticism, impressive propulsive hip sink for his size. He's capable of managing spaces, over top routes, concepts into high looks, serves as a high quality run support, presence in the box with his quick processing, explosive speed, and sure tackling. As a playmaker, Wheatley is more consistent, working down, top down as an interception threat. He is a deflection producer. He maxes out in space over long stretches, but as a split field strong safety, Wheatley has a size of explosion processing, half field range support, utility to be a quality starter. Now, he sounds cool. He was cool on the combine, but yeah, I think what we have, I think we're okay with Bull Mao.
Did you pull the trigger on Black?
Chen. Oh yeah, he's still there, huh? I don't know. I just don't think that getting a running back this early.
Well, just humor me. Can you just have a look at the running back prospects?
Yeah. You want me to look at the class, the BPA? Who's still left? Yeah. So far, they have Black, Nicholas Singleton, Roman Hembley, Robert Henry at 176. So he's still there. He's supposed to go early 4th. Singleton's supposed to be 145, so that's kind of mid. We're talking about 5th round, I believe. Yeah, talking about the 5th round.
Is it though a case of there's Black and then there's a bit of a drop off after Black?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
someone who could be more serviceable to be that complementary piece.
Right. And like in previous drafts, I've drafted like Hembley, which is another running back out of Indiana. So if you're looking for that continuity, you're able to pick up this guy. And in the 5th, most likely the 6th round, I've seen him there quite a bit in the 6th round. Same thing for like a guy like Robert Henry. Again, you don't need these guys to do a whole lot. You're not trying to get like a replacement for Genty. You're just trying to get a complementary piece. So I don't think you need to go that high for a running back.
That's someone who can take the reins if he gets injured. There's also that.
You can, but
running back is a high risk position. So
yeah,
just food for thought.
Yeah. Who's sticking around from the room? I know what's his face is gonna be going. Tamir White is gonna be leaving, and that guy we just picked up.
Heaven forbid.
And the guy we just picked up last year, I forgot his name. It's on the tip of my tongue.
Mostert.
Yeah, Mostert is gonna be gone too. So
you mean we're not gonna re-sign Zamir White and turn him into a fullback?
Unfortunately not. He's gonna be gone.
Oh damn. Oh man.
Fiddlesticks, he's gone. I
was hoping we'd turn him into the next coming Marcel Reese.
Yeah, I know. That guy played. That guy was playing like mustard. So just call him Zamir Mustard. Raheem Mustard. Oh man,
well, many people want to bring him back. I mean, he was all right.
Yeah,
that's it. It's like
I'm not
really
gonna
care about these guys. Well, all right.
Yeah, I'm not picking him up, Jeff. I'm not doing it that high, bro. Like we don't need a back like that. I mean, come on. I don't need this guy to be anything.
I kind of made the case too, Jeff. I get you.
Yeah, I mean, you're still picking up a quality dude like the fifth, you know. And if you need him to take over, then have him take over. I mean, it's hard to replace.
What about this Coleman guy? Sorry, what about this Coleman guy that Space Beast talking about?
Coleman guy. Hold on,
wide receiver.
Oh, Kevin Coleman. I'm trying to remember him. Hold on, let me put a face in the name. I didn't hear about him too much. Coleman. Where's he at? He's like middle of the pack. Let me see his measurables. He's 5'10", 179, 30-inch wingspan, 40, 1.62, 10-yard, 38.5 vertical jump.
Jeff likes Malachi Fields, the wide receiver from Notre Dame.
Hold on, let me go back.
So, chat, whoever's in the know, who would you prefer? Not named Jeff, not named Space Beats. Coleman or Fields?
I think I'll probably go more towards Fields, to be honest with you. Okay. Malachi Fields.
Don't ask me because I have no idea about these guys.
Yeah, I know, and it's weird. I totally looped on that. So Malachi Fields is 6'4.5". 218. He's a little slower, 4.61, 38 vertical. Let me see if they have a strength. So his strengths are elite bend of his size, strength, and high point talent. Actually, let me read the one that maybe PFN has a better one.
Well,
I'll read this
before
one.
we move. What does RAS mean? What is that?
Shit. Hold on.
Space Beast, do you know? I'm seeing that number, and I'm guessing it's the rating for where they. I don't know. What do you know?
Relative athletic score. This is based off his. I guess the combine measurement, height, weight, 40, and vertical jump into like a single score.
Why am I reading that? I'm getting shades of that guy we took last year. What's his name?
Thorn?
No. The quarterback / wide receiver. That's it. Tommy Malott.
Tommy Malott.
I don't know. I just see that dual threat quarterback in high school, and I.
Oh yeah,
he gives me shades of.
Yeah. Well, he didn't play that.
Wow.
He didn't play that in college, but yeah, high school. High school, you play like multiple positions.
I don't know. It's just I guess it's not fair for him because I haven't really seen him play, but just reading that is just a red flag for me.
Yeah. So so this is the thing, and it's funny because I said Thornton, and they have similar height. Just this guy's slower, but this is where the trade-off happens. He has a height, but he has. Let me read this part. In 2025, Fields transferred to Notre Dame, took on a role as the Irish's resident deep threat, accounting for 36 catches, 630 yards, 5 scores. He averaged 17 yards per reception, achieved a minuscule 1.6 drop rate, and earned a respectable impact.
1.6 drop rate. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the eye-catching part. So he has the height. He doesn't have the speed quite there, but he's
We
able
got
to go ahead
we
and
we
catch the
have
ball.
speedsters. Speedsters is just something
Yes.
we're not lacking in with Thornton and Tucker. It's like I highlighted before. We need someone who's going to catch these 50-50 balls because neither of those guys are it. But what
Yeah.
about Coleman? Can you humor us and go to Coleman?
Let's see, where is he at? Oh, here it
Yes,
is.
135.
Let's see. He says one of the hidden gems 2026 draft. Evaluators will be curious about his background as he played 4 different schools, 4 different schools and 4 different collegiate seasons. In 2025 was clear. However, he wanted to return home to St. Louis. There's a lot of gibberish here. Okay, so he caught 66 passes for 732 yards and a score, and the advanced numbers give him a greater endorsement. Coleman's 2-year PFSN wide receiver impact score of 81.7 is stellar per true media in 2025. He logged 2.55 yards per route run and a 13.11% catch rate over expectation.
It's a little smaller.
Yeah, he's smaller, extending over 2.5% drop rate. Extending a low 2.5% drop rate. So he can catch the ball. Cummins is undersized but competes at a catch point with a resounding consistency and a verifiable clutch gene. His separation profile accelerates on film. He's one of the twitchiest, most fluid movers in the entire class, whose keen understanding of spatial manipulation and tempo enables him to win versus press, decouple easily on double move routes, and splice his way into open zones. Right away, Coleman is a plus rotational wide receiver with return ability, and he has starting potential as a Z movement.
Reading that screams a slot guy. We need a slot guy. Guess we do.
It's okay. Yeah. What do you guys think?
Well, I know Space Beast wants Coleman, and Jeff wants if we're going to go the wide receiver route, Fields. So, is there anyone else in the chat who's got a take on that?
I know. Yeah.
Well, what's your gut telling you, Jay?
I honestly, I don't know. My thought process has been on defense. Let me go back to my picks real quick. So obviously outside of Fernando, we got Keenan McDonald, D tackle, then nose tackle, then we got a linebacker, Gold Day, we got an edge and Sun, we got the tackle, and Famoy. I'm trying to get it right. Famoy.
And Jack, I saw your comment. To that, like I hope so. I do want more coming here too. You didn't show me enough year one.
Jeff says no go on Coleman. Let's see. Thornton could be special 6'5", 430. Needs training. Number 120. Cliff Branch took 3 years to get it. Well, Thornton needs a lot of work, bro. He needs to get his route. He needs to improve his route running, and he needs to be able to go ahead and catch the ball. And those are 2 big things, man. I know it's a rookie year, but those are kind of they put those warning signs in last year's draft. That those are some of the deficiencies he has. His route tree is kind of lacking, and then the hands have been a problem. The thing with him is also the way he attacks that ball. He waits for it. He doesn't attack it, and he needs to start attacking it. So those are some of the things he needs to prove. Could he do it? I think he could do it, but I think you're right. It's gonna take a while for him to learn it. You might not see a return on investment till like year 4, to be honest. So what are you gonna do from now to
late
then?
year 4?
Yeah,
I don't want to wait that long.
Well, Jack said year 3. He said it took Cliff Branch 3 years to get. So you're gonna wait another year for Thornton to develop. What are you gonna do in between now and then? So that's the thing. I would still draft another receiver. In this case, who else is out there? Lucas, Coleman, Zane, Durant, another D tackle. Kyle Lewis, and I was gonna read him. He's 6 foot, 220, still undersized guy. Um,
Great, Darren.
he had 8.5 tackles for a loss, just 3 sacks, 2 interceptions, 3 pass breakups to his career totals. Around 6 foot tall, 220 form with 32-inch arms. Lewis fits an incredibly unique player mold that bends at the line between linebacker and defensive back. At Pitt, he excelled as an overhang linebacker and hybrid big nickel. Ooh, okay, distinguishing himself with his explosive, energized athleticism in range and pursuit, natural coverage, depth, discipline, and reactive quickness, versatility on conversion. His lighter frame does correlate with lesser play strength and point of attack power and can be more consistent with his breakdown angles as a tackler. Nevertheless, as a big nickel and dime linebacker, Lewis presents quality starter upside with elite coverage profile and vast usage versatility on attack. So there you have it. I don't know.
I do like that coverage line.
I do like that too. Big nickel.
Is Jake Gouldet, is he more of a thumper?
Let's see here. Let me read his bio. So at 6'4", 240, he has explosiveness and range to work sideline to sideline. He is an instinctive spatial navigator working through creases to make stops at the line. He also has blitzing utility with his long strider burst through gaps. Additionally, with his size and length, he's able to take on stack blocks at the second level, and he's shown to make solo tackles with good form and coverage. Goldie has natural limitations that come from his non-elite sink and fluidity, and he also lacks great zone IQ and spatial awareness. That said, he can use his link to clog middle field windows as a read and react Sam linebacker.
So it seems like they're both the opposite of each other. So maybe
they're all opposite, but we do need coverage linebackers. I like
Lewis.
I'll go with Lewis. Yeah. So
I gotta admit, I'm not sold on either of those wide receivers. So
if
it's not Black, then okay.
Honestly, the Fields will probably be the only one that I would get out of this bunch outside of Lewis. I have to be honest. That's probably the only guy I would probably get at this point in juncture. So I'm gonna take Lewis. All right. That is the draft. So Fernando Mendoza, Caden McDonald, Jake Goldie, Danny Dennis Sutton, Falali. Hold on. Lily, because my daughter's name is Lily. I should just be able to say that. Lily. Amoy.
Hold on, Jeff.
Close.
You're getting there. Better than Jeff.
There. Okay, there you go. Yeah. Have you tried to pronounce some of Jeff's cities, the cities where Jeff is at? Yeah, I couldn't do it.
Like in New England.
Yeah, New England. Yeah, I forgot which one you put out, and I'm like, totally got it wrong. But yeah, so this is a mock draft. Let me know what you guys think. A, B, C, D, or F. Actually, I'm taking out the F. Just D's. No D minuses. Just D's. Just D's. Be gentle. Be gentle.
Can you hear me, Jeff? Can you type it in the chat, the name of the place, and I'll try and pronounce it?
Oh, there you go. And then Jeff could put it phonetically afterwards. Spaces. How you said how far to the car?
Is that a dig at me?
No, it's a dig at Jeff. Have you said how far to the car? It's just kind of like le fleur.
Le fleur.
Le fleur.
Jeff, he's talking about a place you were asking him to say that's from around your region.
Yeah, remember when we were playing that game? When we had to pronounce some of the cities around New England. If we pronounce it right, if you can give him one, see if you can get it, and then you can just put it phonetically for him. See to see if you got it right, or just say you got it right. We've got to run, put it out phonetically.
I do all right
Uh,
with pronunciations.
Yeah, I try. I try my best.
You do all right. But there's
I
still, you
do.
know what's funny? We talk about pronunciations. How long I've been around the scene for 5 years now, and there's still people that um don't know how to pronounce my name properly yet.
Let's see, yeah, this one.
Is that is it? It's either Worcester or Worcester. Did I get it right with the first one? There's a place
I
in England that's called spelt like that. It's called pronounced Worcester.
I think it is Worcester. Worcester.
Yes, I got it.
There you go. There you go. There was another one he had that was like you thought it was one thing, but it was completely you completely said it a different way. I was like,
I'm disappointed. I was waiting for something a little bit.
yeah, you
Testy.
just give him a softball, Jeff.
Yeah, he gave me a
Give
hell
him a
softball.
fastball, bro. A fastball. He wanted a fastball. But yeah, you guys let me know what you guys think in the chat. Grade this mock. Be gentle. And if you guys are watching the replay, go ahead and put it down below. Putting in a bunch of F's and people just talking straight up shit, bro. I'm like, damn, man. No love. No love. No love. It's all good, man. It's all good fun. But yeah. Let's see. Oh, he has another one there.
Leo Minster. It's just a spell.
I think so.
Leo Minster. Unless there's some silent letters in there.
I think so.
Surely it's not Leo
Right.
Minster.
Yeah. Thank you, bro. I appreciate you. Yeah. Spacey says, "Oh my God, watch the Late Show clip with Jimmy Fallon, Ben Affleck, and Matt Damon. They do name every New England town a bit. So good. I bet, bro, because they're from there. They're from there.
Le Monster.
Lee Monster.
Oh, okay. Lee Monster.
There you go. Okay. Lee Monster. Yeah. See, that's because this is Leo. Yeah, Lee Monster. Yeah. But other than that, let them know what you got going on, AR, and where they can find you at.
Oh, gee, I've been pretty silent on my side of the fence, if I'm going to be honest. Like, I've been trying to find the motivation to kind of edit some things around and then get back on the scene. But by the time I do, I've already like kind of shot my take on other people's lives, and I don't know. I just can't really in the mood to put myself out there and talk about the same things that I've already spoke about 2-3 times earlier in the week. So, you know, I might get back and do some game streaming soon. Do some Tecmo Super Bowl on my channel, AFAKSI Raider.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty much plugging myself to people who already follow me. I shout out to everybody in the chat. So you guys all know where to find me.
We got some new peeps. I'm on X, so there's some people on Twitter right now that are also watching. So there you go. Make sure if you guys are on Twitter, make sure you guys jump on over to YouTube and hit that hit that subscribe, and then go ahead and hit that subscribe on my guys' channel here as well. So.
I will say I have been in a bit of a mood to get back on the even though I kind of been a little bit what's what I'm looking for, disheartened when I've had to put in as much work as I did for the shows, but I don't know. I've been kind of in the mood for doing another Raiders of Fortune show, so I might get back onto that soon.
Okay, there you go. Yeah. There you go. That'll be fun. That'll be fun. So make sure you guys look out for that Raiders Wheel of Fortune. That was a good time. Raiders of Fortune.
Did you complete one of those? I think you did.
Yeah. Yes, I did. I think I did.
Good fun.
Or was it I think it was that one. Yeah, I think it was that one.
Yeah,
I
I
remember.
think yeah.
And you only did that one, and which one else? Which other game did you do?
Well, that's it. Raiders of
That was it. That was the only one, right? Yeah. So
Yeah.
it was. I think it was me, Leo, and Jeff that were on.
Okay.
We did one of the shows. Yeah.
So you
that
competed
was
with
cool.
those two. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. That was fun.
That's what's
That was
up.
fun. Yeah.
I have to
for
do
sure.
another one.
Yeah, we do for sure. But appreciate you guys again. Make sure you guys hit that like, hit that subscribe on the show, on the channel. It does help to go ahead and grow the channel. So I appreciate you guys pulling up. Everybody again on Twitter, make sure you guys hop on over to YouTube, hit that like, hit the subscribe on myself, on my channel, and then on my guys' channel as well, Off the Cosby Raider. Make sure you guys go ahead and hit them up. I got the link pinned in the in the stream on Twitter. So make sure you guys hit that subscribe button for sure. Other than that, I will be back on Wednesday with the guys for the Raider Connection. We'll go ahead and get prepared, get ready for free agency that literally starts in 9 days. By then, it'll be 7 days. So we'll go ahead and talk about who could the Raiders go after. That'll be a good one for you to do. We can possibly go ahead and see about maybe having you come on or something like that. And we can talk about free agency and everybody who got picked up or who could potentially be picked up still. So
well, I don't want to intrude on you guys because I know you got your core group there, but
it's all good, man.
If it's okay with those guys, then
yeah, I'll let them know.
Always happy to. You let them know, but like I don't want to intrude on your gang shows. Like I know you've got a group there, so shout out to you guys and do some good shit. I tune in when I can.
Yeah,
that's the Raiders Connection, right? You,
the Raider Connection, yes.
Jeff and Cheeto.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, Jeff says, does that mean you're going to spend another segment on talking about Mendoza? You don't want any trans?
No, he says he doesn't want to bring you on as a guest. How dare you, Jeff? Stop it. You're man with power. I'm not going to have it.
I'm in his bad books at the moment.
Oh, no. It's here. It's because, see, this is the thing with me and Jeff. I don't put up with his anti-Fernando propaganda, his anti-Maxx propaganda. He knows where I draw the line. I'm just kidding, bro. It's all good love. It's all good love, man. I'm just talking shit. But yeah, make sure you guys go ahead and pull up on Wednesday for the Raider Connection. We'll be on same bad time, same channel, and also Leo's, Nate's, and Jeff's channel. So
what channel is that Pacific? What time is that Pacific? 7 p.m. Pacific. Okay, that's what's up. Oh, you got Raider Ben on as well. Oh, sweet.
Yeah, we got Raider Ben.
That would be interesting. I hope you bring up the Mendoza topic with him on the panel.
I'm pretty sure. Well, I'm not the one. Jeff got the producing duties this week coming up, so he's gonna run it however he's gonna run it. I'm along for the ride. So yeah, it'll be fun. So yeah, there you go.
Oh yeah,
make sure.
Yeah, shout out to Ben.
Appreciate
you.
All right,
man. I'll leave you to. Peace out, guys.
All right, man. So appreciate you guys. We'll tap
let me know about tomorrow.
Wednesday.
All right, take care, man.
Yes. Peace. Till next time. Always remember, just Raiders, baby. I'll see y'all on Wednesday. Peace. Hold on. Gotta put the outro. All right. Now peace. There, everyone.